The NBA is back, and I am extremely excited to announce that this podcast is also back, but this time under a new name. We did a little rebranding over the summer. We got a new name, we got a new logo, we got new content plans, we got a ton of stuff coming, and we have an awesome return episode for you guys today, starting with an announcement from me. If you read the title, you read that, yes, I partnered with the NBA for this upcoming season. I joined a program called NBA Playmakers, and I could not be more excited about it. I could not be more grateful to them for reaching out. Could not be more grateful to you guys, of course, for watching the videos. Obviously, it doesn't happen without you guys. And I know it sounds weird, like it's such a small YouTube channel for the NBA to be reaching out to, but obviously, yeah, they believe in the content and they want to be a part of it. So I will get more into the details of what that partnership entails, what it means for this channel and for my other platforms as well when the episode starts. But after the announcement, Max and I dive deep into all 30 NBA teams. We go over our over-under predictions. I think there's some really good value out there. I know Max does too. We give out some bets, some locks that we feel really good about putting money on. And then at the end, we actually have a little special fun segment that we've never done before. Max and I decided before the season, as a little, return gift to the podcast and as a way to start the NBA season off right, we both decided to get each other a surprise jersey of a random NBA player who is a non-all-star. So we tried to give each other some random role player jerseys that we could, hang up in our backgrounds or wear to games and stuff like that. So stay tuned till the end to watch for that. That is obviously the best segment that is in this whole thing. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoy. Welcome to the Long Two. That's right, the Long Two. If you've been following this channel for a while, you know that this podcast used to be called The Couch. It is now called the Long Two, Max. It has been 4 months. We've done a lot of planning. We've done rebranding. We've been planning content. We've been getting ready for this exciting new NBA season. We have lots to talk about. This is a episode 1. This is a pilot, Max. How we feeling?
I'm feeling great, but I think you're probably feeling a whole lot better because you have a big announcement here that we can't wait to talk about on the pod here. So why don't you go first and let the world know what's been going on in your life recently?
Sure. So, if you read the title of this video, you already know, but I signed a partnership agreement with the NBA to join their NBA Playmakers program, which has been around for a while. You may have heard of it, but it's been kind of retinkered and redone. And it's basically all new. So I am very excited, could not be happier about it. What does that mean? What does that mean for the content? What does that mean for you guys? I would say, first of all, not a whole lot for you guys, but for me, it means a lot easier life in terms of content creation. I have access now to all of the NBA's footage, every clip, every game, every highlight, every non-highlight, every whatever you want to see. I can, if I wake up one day and I want to watch all of Asar Thompson's floaters from the month of January, I can do that, which I think is pretty cool. So in terms of, what it's going to look like on my day-to-day basis, my life is just going to be a lot easier in terms of, how I edit videos, how I film videos. The clips are going to be crystal clear. If you look at videos that I've posted recently versus videos that I posted maybe 3 or 4 months ago, you can see a big difference in the quality of the clips and the videos, at least I hope. But on top of that, I think there's going to be a lot of collaboration opportunities with the NBA, potentially on the NBA YouTube channel, potentially on, TikTok, on Instagram, on all platforms. So it is a partnership. We're working together. We're going to try and create content that goes out on both channels, to try and help this channel grow, right? And this doesn't happen without you guys watching. If you guys don't know, I, over the past year, have been grinding on TikTok on short form content, up to 85,000 followers there. That's how the NBA found me and reached out. And now we're trying to grow the YouTube. So it is going to be a lot of fun. I think, this is going to be a really big season. So I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely. And for the podcast itself, the only thing that's going to change is the content overall is going to get better. Our consistency will be better as well. I know it's been a weird, tumultuous few years for both Jordan and I. I think me personally, in my personal life, I moved like 6 times during the podcast, so it was hard to stay consistent. And now that I'm in a solid place and I'm in one area, I can consistently upload on time with Jordan. And we're just overall this partnership as a whole. One, it's been a long time coming because Jordan, you've been awesome at what you do and the content that you're putting out, and people really like it. And two, the fans have been with us for a very long time, or if you're newer, you've been supporting Jordan really thoroughly and in a positive way, which is awesome. So for us, in terms of the podcast itself, all this really means is that we are now in a position where we can really be consistent and actually deliver good content. We have more of a direction than we did before, and I'm really excited to get started. So that's enough of us just talking about ourselves the whole time. Let's get into what we actually want to talk about, which is this action-packed episode, because this is going to be an insane NBA season, Jordan. I can't wait to get into it.
Yeah, absolutely. These over-unders were like challenging for me. I sat
Me too.
for just hours like staring at stuff, flipping stuff back and forth, going through, flipping stuff back. So we're going to start in the Northwest Division. We're going to do the Western Conference first. The Oklahoma City Thunder have their line set at 62.5. The reigning champs, Max, you got over or under?
Overlock. I'm locking it up. I think
I locked it too.
this is, yeah, this team, it's the highest lock we've ever done, I think, because we've done this for about 4 years now. And with this team, I don't really have anything to say. Like they're almost so good it's boring to talk about, kind of, just because of their utter dominance. They really didn't add anybody except for, of course, Thomas Sorber, a big that you and I both loved coming into the draft. Of course, he falls to OKC, and they're able to bring him in. Other than that, they really are. They're going to add Brooks Barnheiser, another rookie who we liked as well in the second round. I'm not sure if he'll even really play. And then the original, their Topic, Nikola Topic, their pick from last year, he was injured. He just got surgery on
Crazy
his
surgery.
balls. He's got some crazy surgery. Been there, brother. And he is not going to be playing for a little bit, but he should play for them eventually down the line. And really, the only person they lost was Dylan Jones, who, I mean, to us, we did like Dylan Jones, but it's not a big loss at all. This team just gets a year better, and hopefully, Chet plays a full season, no one gets injured, and I don't see how this team doesn't go over 62 and a half.
I agree. I literally think they could win 70 games. They won 68 games last year, and they're just gonna get better this season. You would think with Chet hopefully playing more games than last season, kind of a freak accident, but Chet and J-Dub both are like in for a big leap. I know J-Dub made a big leap last season and was awesome. Chet, this is kind of the year for him where maybe he starts looking a little bit more polished with the handle, as a creator, as just like a dominant like third option as a scoring option. J-Dub obviously can still get better as well. And even Shea, like Shea just won the MVP and had one of the best guard seasons of all time. And I was like, nah, I think he can get a little better. Like he could become an even better three-point shooter, an even better playmaker. So I just feel like everybody's arrow is pointing up on this team. At worst, the arrow's pointing sideways. So I don't see outside of like crazy bad injury luck how they go under this line. I know it's crazy high, 62.5, but 68 last season, and it felt like they sleptwalked to it. So yeah, I'm locking the over.
Absolutely. I mean, the team's a tank, and it's like they didn't really make any moves, but they're somehow returning more depth than they had last year. So they can even withstand a few injuries. And this is the type of team where they're not an old beaten down champion. They're not like some of those older Spurs teams or those older Warriors teams that, had a lot of battle scars and the regular season is tough for them. These are young guns that are ready to go, ready to rip. All these guys are actually just entering their prime. They're not even really in their prime yet, and they're fully the type of team that would be ready to have that mark on their back and have that that target on their back, if you will. And people are going to play up for these games. There's no doubt about that. But they're going to play up as well and match that energy. I have no qualms with that. So to me, I think this is a pretty obvious lock as well, and very scary. I messaged you on the side and I wanted us to do tiers for the NBA championship. And to me, I broke it down in four tiers. How many tiers did you do?
I did four.
Okay. I did tier one, which is one of these teams will be in the finals and will win it. I did tier two, which is would be surprised if they won, but only slightly surprised. And then tier three, which was just would be surprised. And then tier four is no chance. The Thunder are one of the teams that are in tier one for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, it would be
Okay.
shocking if they weren't. But on to the next, the Denver Nuggets, who had a very busy offseason. They bring in Bruce Brown, Cam Johnson, Tim Hardaway Jr., Jonas Valanciunas. They lose MPJ, DeAndre Jordan, Russell Westbrook. Their line is set at 54.5. What do you got?
I have over 54 and a half. I'm not locking this because it is a high number. This was my favorite offseason all year. this team finally built around Jokic in a way that we liked. This is a team that you and I had been begging for years now to build around your MVP and your superstar, and they finally did it. To me, this team is has a lot better depth and they can handle Jokic coming off of the floor. Last year, the team had a points per 100 possession differential of plus 21.3 when Jokic was on versus off the court. That's in the 100th percentile. That's the highest you can get.
Doesn't get better than
So they
100th.
doesn't get better than 100th. So they desperately needed to get better around him. And this offseason, they made winning moves. They added veteran players. They added some guys that we know can fit around Jokic and that Jokic will make better. And they just got better depth. I think Cam Johnson to the Nuggets was one of my favorite moves of the offseason. You and I are very big Cam Johnson nerds. I think he is a generational like mind for the game. I definitely think he's going to go into coaching after he's done. And Jokic is another like absolute basketball nerd, and I can't wait to see what him and Cam Johnson do together on the basketball floor, especially because he is in a lot of ways a better version of Michael Porter Jr. efficiency wise. I think Michael Porter Jr. is a better shooter overall, just in terms of he's an elite shot maker. But Cam Johnson is a better processor. He's going to be able to facilitate better than Michael Porter Jr. He might not rebound quite as well as Michael Porter Jr., but I can trust him on the defensive side of the floor better than I can trust Michael Porter Jr. And then Jonas Valanciunas to me was a massive addition to this team because this allows for someone to come in and give 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes a game where Jokic doesn't need to be on the floor and he can just sit and catch his breath a little bit and they're not totally out of the water there. Like they're not totally above their heads and dying. And then Bruce Brown and Tim Hardaway Jr. Bruce Brown obviously won a championship with Jokic and has that chemistry with him, and that's when Bruce Brown looked best in his career. As soon as he took that money from, I believe it was Indiana, he disappeared. He went to Toronto. He went to New Orleans. Now he's back. He's back to where he made his money originally. Can't wait to see what they get out of him. And then Tim Hardaway Jr., we really liked him last year on Detroit.
Yeah, he was awesome.
I think he will get something from him. He's one of those guys that's just going to be made better by Jokic. And then you lost Dario Saric, who didn't play and didn't contribute anything. And then Michael Porter Jr., and I thought that was a better trade for Cam Johnson. So I know
Russ,
I took a lot of the meat off the boat. I didn't mention Russ. You're right. I forgot about that. They did lose Russ, which does yeah, I'll let you go on that one. Go ahead.
I mean, I thought Russ actually had some really good moments last year, but this is an
Yeah.
over for me. This is an absolute lock. 54 and a half. I'll just spoil everything right now. If you ask me today, Jordan, who is going to win the championship, my pick is the Denver Nuggets. I know how good OKC is. I know how good teams like Cleveland are. The Knicks have a shot this year. Denver is the one that I look at and I say that is the roster that is built to go all the way, more than all these other ones. Now, in terms of the regular season, that's a different kind of story, and that's why this line is 54 and a half. But I think they had two problems last year, right? Two really big problems where it was just general depth and second, just the backup center minutes, the non-Jokic minutes, as has been the problem for years. But I think they fixed both of those completely and beautifully and absolutely, like no questions, beautifully done offseason. I actually think the non-Jokic minutes are going to be fun. I don't know how, amazing the team is going to be, but I do think the upgrade from Joe Val from DeAndre Jordan is as big as a backup center upgrade can get, basically. I think, it's cool to get a guy that's like a similar play style to Jokic. Obviously, comparing anyone to Jokic is crazy, but like having another huge, massive human being who knows how to pass the ball, who's a monster in the post, you can just dump it down to Joe Val and say, hey, go score on that guy who's 50 pounds lighter than you. Just throw him out of the way and dunk for, 3 possessions in a row. And you can run what the Nuggets run, which is, those high post splits with guys screening for each other and Jokic passing out of the elbow area. Joe Val can do that too. We saw a little bit of it in the preseason, and people freaked out about it. Maybe I'm freaking out about it, but I think those minutes are going to be really fun. How does Joe Val look in the playoffs? I don't know. I think a lot better than DeAndre Jordan, but this is a regular season bet. So, and then the thing you mentioned about Cam Johnson, like he's an awesome off-ball mover. He's a great cutter. He's going to fit in seamlessly. It's not going to take any time. It's going to be perfect. I'm going to love seeing him in this system working off the bigs, whether it's Jokic or Joe Val, screening and cutting and moving and all that stuff.
Well, you know who else is in the West?
Yeah, who's
And you
that?
and I were texting about them last night. It's the Clippers.
Yep.
And I'm not spoiling anything, but we are going to get to them, obviously. But that big lineup that they run with Brooke Lopez and,
Mm.
well, the bigs that they have in general, they have Zubats, Brooke Lopez, and John Collins. That is going to be a lot easier to work with or work against when you have a guy like Joe Val. Could you imagine if they didn't have him on their team this year going up against that? I was thinking about that while we were watching the game. I was like, shit, they're going to destroy Jokic. And then obviously I was like, oh well, they have Joe Val. Like he can go in there. Yeah, I don't know if you start him or if you have him coming off the bench, like whatever you need to do for a game against the Clippers like that. But he's going to be able to take those hits and take the brunt of that because a night like that with Jokic, where it's those like three or four guys rotating in and out against him, is going to be a lot for him to handle. So having
Yeah.
another guy there to take that is going to be nice.
He's just the perfect regular season innings eater. He's just like
Yes.
he's gonna like swing quarters and just have big stretches where you go, oh my God, he Joe Val just took over the game for 3 minutes, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
And plus the two-man game with Jamal Murray that they can potentially unlock is going to be extremely fun to watch. So yeah, he was a great pickup. I know it seems like we might have talked a lot about Joe Val, but he's really that important to this team.
it's not
And
it's not necessarily Joe Val specifically. It's that they've never had anybody like this to back up Jokic, which is
mhm.
really exciting.
Yes, and I have two bets that are related to actually three bets. No, sorry, two bets that are related to this pick. The first one is Coach of the Year. I got it at like plus 680.
Hmm.
David Adelman,
I
the
love
head
it.
coach of the Nuggets. I think that is a really, really fun pick there. I think there's going to be some bigger names out there that are getting all of the shine. But I think Coach of the Year is going to be David Adelman because he was awesome when he took over for Michael Malone last year. He took over at a weird time, and he kind of turned this team around a little bit. And it was really bad vibes, but now they're direct. They have the right direction, and he's obviously a really great basketball mind. And some of the things that he was doing, you and I would be texting about every night about how like ridiculous some of the things that he was
That
doing
zone
was.
was
So
incredible. The whole defensive
yes,
team against OKC was
absolutely.
absolutely awesome. Yeah.
Yes. So definitely think that he is a great option to bet for Coach of the Year. And then I also took the Nuggets to win the championship this year.
What were those odds? Because yeah, I'm with it.
So we're recording from my phone, so I actually can't access the odds. I was just trying to like figure that out, and it's very frustrating. I don't know what I got them
I
at,
mean, they're probably
unfortunately.
second or third, right? They're probably second.
I think so. I think they're second.
Yeah. All right. Let's go. Let's go to the next team. That is two teams, two overs, and two locks for me. The third team
Oh,
is
you locked that
Minnesota.
one.
I locked that. That is
Okay.
probably my favorite bet on the whole podcast. Um,
Interesting.
Next we have the Minnesota Timberwolves. Their line is set at 48 and a half. Last season they were 49 and 33. They lost Nikhil Alexander Walker, Josh Minot, Luca Garza. They bring in Johan Berenger. I think that's how you say it. Max over or under.
So this one I struggled with a
Me
lot.
too.
I They're largely returning the same team, but I left on I lean under 49 and a half. And for me, it was almost like tie goes to the runner in the West, where this Western Conference is going to be ridiculous this year. And if I didn't know what to pick, I just kind of leaned under. And for me, the biggest thing was the loss of Nikhil Alexander Walker. I'm not entirely sure how they're going to make it up. They largely were running it back this year, but what happens if 38-year-old Mike Conley breaks down? That's kind of what you're relying on. That's not really the best thing. And then he was the fifth best 3-point shooter from volume. So I cut out there was like two other guys that shot better than him, but they played like 8 minutes a game or even less, like 4 minutes a game. So I cut them out and doing that, he was the fifth best 3-point shooter from volume on the T-Wolves last year on a team that attempted the fifth most threes and had the fourth highest 3-point percentage. I don't know if they effectively replaced his 3-point shooting. And I mean, they can look to fix this because they are bringing in, like, they have guys that they are expecting to kind of fill out that role and be better. Like you're assuming Dante DiVincenzo is going to get it going and play better than he had. And they did make a ridiculously big trade to start the season. That that Randall Cat trade was like right before training camp started, I
Yeah.
believe, last year. So they don't they got a full year underneath them to kind of get their things going and figure everything out. And Ant has never played less than 70 games, but this is where it starts to ramp up and where we start to see injuries happen. And I'm a little worried about what happens if, say, Ant misses a few games or Mike Conley, more likely, who's 38 years old, misses a few games. And like they have a lot of eggs in the Mike Conley basket, and that's why I was leaning under.
A lot
Plus,
of
I just
eggs in the
feel like
Rob Dillingham backup point guard basket, I feel like.
yeah, but he's not like his facilitate like he's not a table setter like that per se.
Yeah, fair.
He can score at a clip and he could definitely help fix the Nah issue, but the Mike Conley facilitation aspect of things,
Yeah.
and then also
So
the guarding. I mean, Mike Conley can't guard still, but Dillingham, as much
no,
as we love Rob
Conley can
Dillingham,
play defense a lot better than skinny
yes,
little Rob. I went over here. This was really close. I think this is really a bet on Anthony Edwards just being one of the best 6 or 7 players on the planet. He's gotten better literally every year. People said he needed to shoot more threes. Last season, he was like, all right, I'll shoot more threes and
yeah,
I'll
I'll shoot
be
all the
amazing.
threes.
I'll shoot, yeah, 11 threes a game on ridiculous efficiency, ridiculous pull-up efficiency. Now people are saying he needs an in-between game. All the stories coming out of Minnesota are he's looking like Michael Jordan and Kobe with these fadeaways. I saw one in preseason. I got really happy about it. That could be why I'm taking the over here. But I think that's actually a real thing. Like he did need an in-between game. There were a lot of times where he got caught in that, whatever 6 to 18 foot range, and it doesn't look like he was super comfortable. Sometimes he's just challenging rim protectors at the rim. I think that development is actually going to be a real thing this year, and it's going to take him to a really, really high level as a scorer, even higher than he's already at. Also, we've made fun of Julius Randle on this podcast.
No, he's good now.
We both really liked him last year. Like we just something happened, something clicked for him, or maybe we were just wrong on him in the first place, right? Like he was really good. He was a really good facilitator. He was a great passer. And that's why like the point guard spot being weird, it is weird and it's not perfect by any means. It's not good, but I do think Ant and Julius will just have the ball a lot. I think Ant is the de facto point guard for this team and kind of has been. Conley's, playing off the ball a lot as it is. So even if stuff goes wrong there, like Anthony Edwards is going to have the ball in his hands. You can run a lot of stuff through Julius. So it's not like those two are dying for a point guard to come take touches away from them. I do worry a little bit about Dillingham. Like I love the guy on offense. Honestly, like I think he can score on anyone. When he has the ball in
Yeah.
his hands, I believe that he can score because he can just go by guys and he can shift guys and he can blow by and he can get to these like high floaters and high finishes off the glass. I think he should be shooting it a little bit better now after a full year under his belt, but it's just the defensive end with him. Hopefully, there's enough defense here to cover that up. So that's kind of my reasoning for taking them over. I mean, Ant and Julius are really a solid 1-2 punch as creators, and then the defense around them, I think, is enough to go over 48.5. But it's really a bet on.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's also just a lot of games. I was if they miss, I don't think it's going to be by much. That was really my
Yeah.
thought process. Also, I realized I'm really dumb. I literally wrote down the odds. I listed the teams by odds to win the championship. So Denver's plus 490. That's what I got on that to win.
Okay.
And when we were talking about the tiers as well, Denver was the other team that was in the tier one for me of one of these teams will be in the finals and will win it.
Yeah, I
So
agree. Those were the only 2 teams I had in my top tier. I have a lot of respect for the other teams, but I think like if one of those 2 teams didn't win the championship, if they're fully healthy going into the playoffs, I would be really surprised if one of them doesn't win it.
me too. And then for tier two, the T Wolves are in that tier where it's would be surprised if they won, but only slightly. And mostly my surprise would be that they just haven't done that before.
Yeah, fair. All right, let's go to the next team, the Portland Trailblazers, set at 34 and a half. Last season they were 36 and 46. They bring in Drew Holiday, they draft Young Hansen, they lose Anthony Simons, Jabari Walker, among others, but those were the main guys from the rotation. We got some injuries here, unfortunately. Scoot tore his hamstring out for a month.
Hmm.
Max 34 and a half over under.
I've slight under. They last year, obviously they went 36-46. Last year they were 22nd in offensive rating,
Mhm.
and then they lost 33.7 points per game from their team while adding very little of that back. In term like with Simons and Aiton. I don't I don't know who's going to score the ball on this team. And then the other issue I have with them is like defensively they're going to be awesome. They have ridiculous length, lineup flexibility. They can do a whole lot. I don't know. how they're going to score. And then also, it was really unique because they used to have all of the centers in the league on their team at one point, and now they don't have that great of a center core. Like it's Rob Will, and if you're telling me that I need to rely on Rob Will being healthy, as much as I love the guy, I'm just not going to do that. You have Duop Reith, who's not a bad player, but let's be real here, it's Duop Reith, and then Donovan Clingan, who's just really young and unproven, and then Young Hansen, who like is really really fun, but can we? I don't know what we're getting out of him. And that's just a little scary. So those big lineup, like
I
you're,
mean,
that's
I
a
love
lot.
Klingon. I think Klingon's going to be
I think
awesome.
Klingon's, yeah, but he's also very young, and that's a lot to put on him in this loaded West. And it, this is a tough West. Like I don't, 34 and a half games. I mean, that's only two off from what they did last year when they played really, really well. I know Drew Holiday is like a great guy in theory. He also had a tough time guarding anyone last year, and like effectively guarding anyone last year, especially in the playoffs. And he's just at a point in his career now where he's probably going to help a contender out more than he helps this Portland team. And I don't know if he's going to even be on the team um, in a few, like by the end of the season. So to me, I think you lost a lot of your scoring and you did not make it up. And I just struggle to figure out who's going to score. Like I know Shaden is good at scoring the basketball and everything like that. But I mean, come on now.
Yeah,
I'm going
and we
under.
like Denny too, but
Yeah,
I'm with
Denny's
you.
awesome.
I went under, and I was kind of surprised I went under because the whole offseason I just really liked the Trailblazers, and I'm really excited to watch this team, and it's for all the reasons you said. Like this defense is going to be unbelievable. That
Yeah.
starting five: Holiday, Sharp, Avdia, Kamara, Klingon, nasty,
Insane.
absolutely
Yeah, it's
nasty.
disgusting.
Shane Sharp, maybe not a lockdown guy, but
But he's
everybody
so
else is like,
athletic.
yeah, he's super athletic, and everybody else can like outside of Klingon, you can switch 1 through 4. You can like have Klingon protecting the rim and just eating up shots at the rim. They're going to be phenomenal on defense, even though we think Drew has regressed a little bit there, which obviously he has. He's getting older. But yeah, the offense gets really weird. Like Denny is probably their lead creator. We love Denny. Not sure if he's ready to lead an elite offense in this West to a lot of wins. So slight under, but we love Portland.
Yeah. They're building something really fun in Portland.
Yeah, 100%. All right. Next team, the last team in the Northwest, we have the Utah Jazz set at a measly 18 and a half. They won 17 last year, 17 and 65. They draft Walter Clayton Jr. and Ace Bailey. They bring in Yusuf Nurkic, George Niang, Kyle Anderson, Kevin Love. They lose John Collins, Jordan Clarkson, Johnny Juzang, Jaden Springer. What do you
And
got?
Colin Six. Oh, you say Colin Sexton. I have an under 18 and a half lock, and I bet on it. I did a little parlay with two other teams that we're going to talk about later, which I got great odds on. I love this under, and I also love this team. I think this is one of my new young teams I'm going to adopt. I was sending you videos of them doing a burger cook-off with Will Hardy. I thought it was
That was a
awesome.
good
I think
video.
this team's going to be great. It was a great video. I think Ace is going to be incredible. We're all in on Ace on this podcast, but they're pretty terrible. But they're building something fun. They're just going to be really bad. I think like one of the things that I've learned for the past few years of doing these over under pods is that yes, young guys are really fun on paper, but then when you actually have young guys playing in the NBA, they don't win a lot of basketball games. A lot of the teams that are actually winning, other than the outlier of like the freaking Thunder, is our older basketball teams, just because of how it doesn't matter how athletic and fun you are. Like you have to have this mentality and this brain for the NBA to be successful. And a lot of those guys just haven't. They don't have the time and experience in the NBA to do that yet. And they're just really young. eh, Also, like kind of a who's playing point guard on this team because I know like they're taking it back old school by using Collier as like this old school pass first quarterback point guard. You can't shoot for shit. He averaged like 8 point, like a little under 9 points and 6.3 assists on a true shooting of 49.4%, which was
Ooh.
16th on the team, so not good. Um, he's your classic pass first, just no shooting point guard, and I can't wait to see how he helps set the table for other guys like Ace, like Keontae, like Larry Markkinen, who I hope is not on this team by the end of the year. I'm praying that he's not on the team here. Um, I love what they're getting from their young bigs, like Kessler, Filipowski, Laurie, um, and I just want them to trade Laurie because I think they're really close to really bottoming out and getting a good pick here. I don't expect them to be good yet. They're just too young. Like they do have some savvy vets, but I would be shocked if they're good.
They have very few savvy vets. I am under
Yeah.
as well. The thing that makes me kind of nervous about this is Lowry played 47 games last season, and they were very clearly like kind of keeping him out, being like, "Hey, we don't want to win games." If he plays more than that, like this is such a low number that could Lowry just take over a couple nights and push them to 20 wins? Like, yes, he could. Like,
But but the Nets last year were supposed to be tanking and they were not tanking, and the Wiz had some portions where they were winning for a little bit, and I think the Jazz were like, okay, we don't need to like disgustingly tank as much as we usually are because there's other teams, the other awful teams are not fully tanking yet.
yeah, I guess so. But yeah, I'm with you. I mean, they're just too young. I'm excited to watch Ace. I like Isaiah Collier. He touches the paint whenever he wants, really, but it's gonna be a rough watch. Like, there's gonna be a lot of bad shots. There's gonna be weird decisions. There's gonna be turnovers
Yeah,
with his team. Same with Keontae. Like, he just hasn't totally gotten there yet. Maybe he does. Maybe this is the big breakout. I'm excited Taylor Hendricks is back.
me
I'm
too. He
excited
looks
to watch
awesome.
Filipowski. Other than that, I don't think this team will be on my league pass very often.
Really? I kind of disagree. I think Ace is kind of must watch, and I love Taylor Hendricks. I think he's very watchable, as well as I don't know. There's a lot of young guys on here that
Ace
I
is
do like.
fun, but you're gonna see them get down 20 in the first quarter, and you're gonna
True.
think, damn, is this worth waiting for Ace to come back in? When
That's a good point. I think they're going to be watchable in the sense of when it's 10 o'clock and I'm feeding for something to like fall asleep and
yeah,
watch. That's probably what
that's
I'm going to
that's
throw on.
that's a better comp for the Jazz, I think.
Yeah.
All right, on to the Pacific Division. We are gonna start with the Los Angeles Lakers, who are set at 46 and a half. Last season, they won 50 games. They bring in DeAndre Ayton. They bring in Jake LaRavia, Marcus Smart. They draft Adu Thero. They lost Dorian Finney-Smith. They lost Shake Milton and Jordan Goodwin. Let me know if I missed anyone because I missed people in the last two. What am I doing? 46 and a half max over under.
Well, you're the resident Lakers fan, so why don't you go ahead and give us yours first?
I am not a resident Lakers fan,
Yes, he
and
is.
I will prove that to you by going under on the
Me too.
46 and a half. Uh, LeBron has this sciatica stuff, hopeful for early to mid-November. Who knows if that's going to be real, if he's actually going to come back. Like, I would not be surprised if LeBron in year 300 is like, yeah, I think I just want to take it easy and like really save myself and come back December or later, right? Like, and just leave it to Luca to like, hey, keep us in the top eight, top seven. We'll get a home play-in game and we'll win that, and then we'll go and get in the playoffs and go on a run. Like, I could see that happening. I think this defense is not going to be very good. Now, I don't think they're going to be straight up awful. I think bringing in DeAndre Ayton, I know you don't like him. He's an upgrade over
No,
Hayes
yeah.
in every imaginable way. I think Marcus Smart gives him something on defense. Laravia is not a bad defender, but they don't have enough perimeter defense. They don't have somebody to guard opposing point guards and two guards and explosive wings. They're just gonna be giving up dribble penetration left and right. It reminds me of like what we saw with the Bucks for these past two seasons, where guys are just getting to the rim at will. Now, Skinny Luca does a lot for me. Skinny Luca, he looks good, and he could just take over and win 48 games playing 1-on-5. And I am optimistic about seeing Aiden. I think the offense is going to be good. The defense is just really incompetent, and the LeBron stuff scares me.
You don't think the Lakers are going to be that or like awful defensively? I do. I think they're going to I think they're going to be
I think they're
insanely
going to be like
bad.
20th.
That's I don't know. They could literally be worse. First off, I can't believe you sat here and go, yeah, Marcus Smart could give you something defensively. Let's
I
be
think
real here. Really? Did you watch him in Memphis? I don't know.
he
He is
wasn't hurt. I mean, he was
he's
hurt.
injured. It's his fault. Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, usually in your year 36 season, I don't know how old he actually is, but he's 31. Usually in your year 31 season, after having all those injuries that you have,
He's not that
your
old.
body gets a little bit. He's pretty old. He's like an old 31 too.
He is
He's
an old
bled.
31.
He
It's all the
bled like
diving on
40.
the floor in Boston
Yeah,
for us, dude.
yeah. He's bleeding 48 out of the 82 games a year. So I think like I don't know. It takes a toll on you. Um, this team is going to be abysmal offensively. My dad has sciatica, or sorry, defensively, and my dad has sciatica. And granted, he is the LeBron James of being unathletic, but it is insane how uncomfortable he was. Like we tried to drive to Tennessee, and he was like couldn't even sit because of the sciatica.
Yeah,
So,
but LeBron
um,
getting dad injuries is not a good sign. Like that's
yeah, I wasn't
I don't
saying it in
want
a
to hear that.
positive light. I was
No, I
telling you
know. I know. I'm
it's not
agreeing.
good. Yeah, so
It's scary.
it is scary. I do love the Aiton pickup because one, him and Luca are going to be really fun to watch together. And then two, I despise Jackson Hayes, and I think I hated.
Despise him.
Well, I despised him on this in the role that he was in as a starter on a
Definitely.
competent playoff championship
So did JJ
wanting.
Redick, evidently, who did not
Yes,
play him a single minute in their closeout game in the second
good
half.
because he didn't deserve to see the floor on that. He was really bad, and he is much more suited to be coming off the bench as like a second or third option at the big. So love the Aiton pick up there because at the very least he gives you rim protection and he's gonna get a lot of rebounds and maybe have like I don't know, I could see him averaging like 14 and 11 or something. And
I think he could average even more points than that. I think he's gonna be really good
yeah,
in
he's gonna have a lot
with
of
Luca. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, he's gonna have a lot. He's gonna have a lot of the gifts of just playing with Luca that come from what he draws. And Luca, let's not get it twisted. Skinny Luca is incredible, but also Luca played Euro basketball or whatever that
Yeah.
championship thing was over the summer. And as fun and awesome as that is, we've seen the guys that play over the summer get hurt when they play regular season because it's a lot of basketball in your body. So a guy that's never been in shape, in tip top shape, you're going to tell me that he went and played overseas and got into tip top shape and then is not going to get injured. I find that a little fishy. I will definitely be eating my words and he'll probably win MVP.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not saying a single bad thing about Luca.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to another old team, the Warriors at 47 and a half, won 48 games last year. They bring in our boy Al Horford. That was a heartbreaker, but saw it coming, so not too bad. They bring back the Anthony Melton, who hurt his knee. I think he tore his ACL, right, last season
I think
with
so,
them.
yeah.
And they didn't lose anybody super significant.
Yes, they lost Kevon Looney.
Oh, good point. They did. Very good point.
Yes. They also brought in Will Richard, and they are the oldest projected starting lineup this year with an average age of 35.8.
Really old. Very
Really
old.
old. Very old. Not even like oh like they're on the older side, they're 32. It's like, oh no, they're almost
No, they're
40.
almost 36. Yeah.
Yeah. I love the team. I think they're going to be insane. I have this as an over. I did not lock it because of the age, but I have this as an over. The addition of Al Horford to this team, it's they just become so much more versatile and switchable defensively, versatile offensively, switchable defensively. I mean, they can now feasibly guard like everyone on the court of like
Yeah.
with switching, and that is really something. And I love the way this team is built, and adding Seth Curry as well, just someone that can give you some scoring off the bench. They figured it out with Kaminga for the most part here, and yeah, man, I'm just this is just a great team. They're gonna be really good.
I'm at an over as well. Not a lock, but I love this team. I think I love them even more as like a playoff dark horse. I think they can really like pretty much beat anybody. This defense is going to be ridiculous. As soon as Jimmy got there, that was clear. But now they bring in Horford, like you mentioned, and the offense is going to be a lot better now as well. I love that Draymond doesn't have to play the five. Like their best lineup has Horford at the five and Draymond as the four, and those two are going to be so perfect together on both ends. Like they're both really good defenders. Draymond is obviously one of the best ever. Horford's super versatile even at this age. And then on offense, like Draymond can't shoot and having a five who can space the floor, you saw what that looked like with Quentin Post, but Post can't play defense. So now you get Horford who can do both. It's really a match made in heaven. And with Jimmy Butler, they were awesome. Like it was a weird part of the year. Yes, sometimes we trick ourselves in that part of the year, but they went 23 and 7. And honestly, they lost to Minnesota in the playoffs because Steph got hurt. Like I picked Golden State to win that series. I think they would have won that series. Obviously, old guys get hurt, so you can say that, but I think this is a smash over. There's some weird stuff with Kuminga. That's really the thing and the age.
But it seems like they might have figured that out because they at least got him to a
Yeah.
point where he's in a more stable situation. I don't get Kerr. Kerr is very like outwardly against him, which I think is kind of a weird thing.
Yeah, well, he doesn't like say anything. He just doesn't play him. I don't think
No,
that's
he'll
that's
say
the
he'll
thing.
say stuff in the media. I don't have the quotes off the top of my head, but I know he'll say stuff in the media. So it seems like they're on better page though, because he got ejected the other night and Kerr was positive about it. So we'll
Yeah.
see.
All right. On to the next. The LA Clippers, in the midst of scandal, have their line set at 47 and a half after a 50 and 32 win season last year. They bring in a bunch of guys: Brooke Lopez, Chris Paul, John Collins, Bradley Beal, and they lose Norm Powell, Ben Simmons, Amir Coffey, Patty Mills. No significant injuries at the moment. They are extremely deep, 11 deep, maybe even more than that. Max 47 and a half.
First off, they also lost Drew Eubanks and Amir Coffey.
I
So
said
gotta
Coffee,
make
but
that.
good
Okay,
point with
apologies.
Eubanks.
Sorry, now it's just a game in my head where I'm like, what did he? Which one did he miss? They also brought in Ty Washington. Shout out Kentucky. I hate Kentucky. I don't know why I shouted them out. And Yonik Conan Niedenhauser, who when they drafted him, he's that Penn State guy that they drafted in like the late first, and you and I were
Yeah, I think
like,
it's Yanich
who?
or yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Yanich Conan Niederhauser. I don't know. He was the one that
The
they
draft
drafted him,
pick.
and you and I were like, "Oh my God, who even is that?"
Did he
Um,
come out of the stands? Did he, or was he not there or
yeah,
something?
him and Yang Han Sen came out of the stands.
Hmm.
But anyways, they're the oldest team in NBA history with an average age of 33 years and 2 months. And boy, do I like the over on this team because, granted, they were playing the Kings, who we'll get to later. But this team
And it was
looks,
preseason.
and it was preseason. But this team is really fun. I love the depth they have. Um, there is a little bit of a stink on this team with what's going on. I don't
Definitely.
I don't even know how to cover it. I think it's been beat to death, so we're probably just not even gonna really get that much into it unless new stuff comes out. They are so deep; they're going to be extremely hard to play. I think this team can actually win a lot of games, and they're kind of built for Kawhi to just not play that much sometimes. So they'll be just fine there. And where was I don't have the text in front of me, but some of those lineups they were running out last night were ridiculous. There was
Yeah.
that Dunn lineup.
Oh my God. The bench is loaded. The bench looks like a starting five. Like
Yeah.
it's a better five than the Jazz by far. Like,
Oh yeah.
they
Yes.
they
It is
are
half the Jazz team too. It's like
yeah.
John Collins,
They
guys
took
that
the
spent. I
Jazz,
think
yeah.
Chris Dunn was on the Jazz for a minute. Like,
Yeah, that's true. But I'm with you. This is an over. I didn't lock it. I don't know why. I really like it. Like I feel really good about this one. James Harden alone is a regular season wins machine. You can say whatever you want about him in the playoffs, but that guy produces year in and year out in the regular season. And you add a really good defense to that. You add really good depth and awesome coaching staff. I love all the ads. Like Chris Paul coming in and running the second unit with really competent like professional basketball players, Brooke Lopez and John Collins. I love that dynamic, like Collins rolling and dragging a guy in, and now Brooks open in the corner, or you know, Brooke just straight up pick and pops with Brooke, with Collins in the dunker. Like there's a lot of stuff that they can go to now. Um, Collins like might be in their best lineup. Collins might finish games for them alongside Zoo
oh
if he
yeah,
can shoot it well enough. So I'm extremely excited to watch this team. They are super old, but they have enough depth that it kind of doesn't really matter to me. So I'm over.
absolutely, absolutely. What's the next team?
Kings are listed at 35 and a half. They went 40 and 42 last season. They bring in Dennis Schroeder. They bring in Drew Eubanks. They drafted Neat Clifford and Maxime Reynaud. They lose Jake LaRavia, Trey Lyles, Jay Crowder, and Markel Fultz. 35 and a half over under.
They also brought in Russ
Oh yeah, that's
and
true. I did this before they brought Russ.
under. Lock it up. I would take this team. I think under 22
I,
games.
I locked it too. I
They are
also locked it.
a this defense. Can we talk about the defense for a while, Jordan?
We can talk about the
Oh,
offense, the defense, the coaching.
they
We
are
can talk
going to
about all of it.
be.
It's not good.
They're going to be horrific. Yeah. First off, Doug Christie. We sure he's the best option out there? What are we doing? Um, defensively, what I know it's preseason. I know the Clippers might be good. What they were getting done to them defensively last night was ridiculous. They were I've never seen a game like that where there have been that many guys clueless and not even rotating. I think I forget who it was. I think it was like Zubats had it was like Zubats caught Sabonis in the post. Not necessarily a matchup, a mismatch. Four guys crash and they quadruple team two, who's a good passer too, like an elite passer. And I was just sitting there like, okay, what are we doing? And then the only good defender on the team is Keon Ellis. Like legit, it's Keon Ellis.
Yeah, Keegan just got paid, so that was good. He's a good defender
Yeah,
too.
but he's hurt, so that's good too.
Yeah, fair. They did pay him what he
Also,
deserved.
no player like it's like no player team option. It's 5 straight years of the money.
That
Like
was an
it's not
overpay.
even.
I like
It's
Keegan.
not.
That was
I
too
like
much.
Keegan too. I mean,
Yeah,
I know
more
with
than
the
Jabari.
cap going
More than
up.
my boy
Yeah,
Jabari hurt me. I was like, that can't. There's no way. More
yeah.
years too. An
But the
extra
thing that
year.
irked me was I don't understand the no not giving yourself an out by putting like a team option or something on there.
Yeah.
It's just 5 straight years of all that money. I
Also,
know
that
the
preseason game, I know I just did a whole lot talking up Chris Paul. They made it look like it was Hornets Chris Paul. Like it was
it
like
was
like
yeah. He
he was frying them. It was a
dissected that
pickup
team,
game, dude. He dissected them. That's a great word. Every
and they literally
pass,
like
he was throwing lobs from like the logo to John Collins. He was like he got an ISO, he got a switch on a
it
big
was
and just
so bad.
absolutely fried at the end of a shot clock. Like
I was like,
he
things were
must have had
happening.
five
I'm just sitting
assists
there.
in the first
Oh yeah,
3 minutes he checked in.
things were happening. Like I'm just sitting there going, is this an NBA team defensively? Like, what are they doing? I've never seen. First off, Brooke Lopez wide open. He hits four threes in a row. He's wide open. I forget who. I think it was Eubanks. Doesn't go out and close out. He
No,
goes out
Eubanks
just
could not close to him. Yep. Pick and pop. It was just
just
one pick and pop wide open.
yeah with Lopez, who's notoriously slow, and Eubanks is somehow he's all the way like underneath the basket somehow off and like why are you in drop? I don't understand. Like it was just so bad. It was and then their transition defense was abysmal. Their offense at one point was just I forget who the guard was. I think it was like Schroeder and Sabonis just literally running a two-man pick and roll while everyone else was overload on one other
They had
side, and it
24
was
points like midway through the second quarter.
yeah, yeah.
And
Sabonis missed four straight threes, and on the last one he did an airball bank, which I've never seen before. He somehow did both at the same time. He airballed into a bank. I've never seen anything like it.
that's impressive stuff. Yeah. The offense will look better than it did last night. I have faith in that.
Yes.
The defense is not going to be good though, and it feels like they're a team that is just in a bunch of close games and then never wins one. Like there's no
Yeah.
way that you can trust
Not even close.
at the end of games. Um,
Yeah. It was really funny to me that they saw the lack of success of the Bulls and thought to myself, well, let's just replicate it with Sabonis and see if it can get worse. And then free my boy Nick Clifford. I know he's a rookie, but
free him
already he's going
before
to
he's
be
played a
awesome.
single NBA
Yeah,
game.
free him before he gets that stink off of him on him. I mean, he tried to dunk on Joval or not Joval. He tried to dunk on Zubats last night. It was very funny. He got blocked. No, it was Lopez. He got blocked so hard, but it was very fun to watch. Nick Clifford is like he dropped in the draft because he was old. He's gonna be awesome because he's old. I think like old players should get drafted better. I don't understand this bias towards them, and I think he's
Dalton
just gonna be
Connect
really
would
good.
say otherwise.
Hey, like Dalton Connect, Tennessee alum. You should
Fair.
free my boy Dalton. Maybe the best Tennessee basketball player I've ever seen. But yes. So, anyways, we've done way too much on the Kings. This team's horrible. I don't understand how they went through a year of Doug Christie and we're like, let's keep him.
Let's pay him. Yep. Just
Yeah.
paying the interim after 2 weeks. Always a good. All right, so we
Yeah.
both locked that under. Next up, we got the Phoenix Suns at 30 and a half. A low line here. Last season, they went 36 and 46. Very active offseason. Bring in Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green. They draft Kaman Malawach. They bring in Mark Williams, draft Rasheer Fleming, Kobe Brea, who kind of looks like a little Devin Bookery with the jumper in the mid-range game. They lose a pretty good player, Kevin Durant. Don't know if you've heard of him. And they lose Brad Beal and Cody Martin. 30 and a
And
half.
Tyus Jones and
And Ty-
Vasily Micic and
and
Mason Plumlee and Ty Washington.
Mason Plumlee. Ty Washington doesn't count. That's exactly what I was saying. Yes.
Um, Jordan Ott as well, new coach. I
Yeah.
think he's gonna be good. He's like a little under the radar.
Any
He's gonna be
disciples?
really good. Exactly. Brian Gregory is our new GM. He's somehow I think James Jones got promoted somehow, which is ridiculous.
He earned it.
Sure, burn the franchise down and get promoted. Sure. President of ops? Sure. Go ahead. No, I locked an over for them.
You locked an over. Wow.
I like this team a lot and I think they're underrated. They were 27th in defensive rating last year. They were abysmal defensively, but they're addressing it. They're bringing in Dylan Brooks. They're bringing in Mark Williams. They're bringing in Kaman Malawach, who I understand that he's going to be raw. He's been flashing already, and I think he's going to be a potential defensive anchor. And last year was the year from hell that this team just needed to reset, and I thought they effectively reset. They bring in some good players. This team makes way more sense than it did. And obviously he like Malawach could be a long-term project, but he's backed up by Oso Ighodaro and Nick Richards, who I like, and I think they're going to be pretty versatile. And I like this team. Like I think they can get over like 32 wins. Last year was a year from hell. They got 36 wins. 32 wins would still be a really
They
bad
did
year
have
and
Kevin
isn't over.
Durant, to be fair.
Or 31 wins is a really bad year and then it's over. Yes, they had Kevin Durant, but he also like that was it didn't matter. Like they didn't have depth. And like Kevin Durant's incredible. You need some depth around him. He can't do it all himself.
Yeah. Um,
I'm interested to see what Jalen Green does on the team.
yeah, I'm very interested in that too. I have a slight under here. This was one that I flipped back and forth a little bit, but eventually settled on under. I'm with you on the defense. Like it should be way better. I was just trying to pull up what they finished last year. I think they had to be bottom five in defense.
Yeah, they were 27th in defensive rating.
27th. Thank you. That's what I thought. It looked like guys didn't want to be there last year. That was
Yeah,
part of it, but the other part of it was they just didn't have the personnel. Their center play was abysmal. Now Mark Williams, Nick Richards, and Kaman Malawach, not world beaters at center, but certainly a whole lot better rotation there defensively in terms of rim protection than they had. I'm with you on Malawach. I think he's going to come in and contribute right away. I don't know what the offense is going to look like, but I do think the defense is going to be impactful. Offense is a big issue here. Like I think they could be an average defense, and I think the offense is going to be bottom, at least bottom 15, probably worse than that, probably bottom 20.
but it's 31 games. 31 games get you the over, right?
Yeah,
Because the
yeah,
number was 30 and a half.
yeah. It's 30 and a half. It is going to be weird with Jalen Green. I just don't like they don't have a real lead playmaker. Again, like we said the same thing with the Timberwolves, but it's like Ant's the point guard. He's the creator. Same with Booker.
Yeah,
They had the 13th offensive rating last season with Durant. I think that's just going to plummet. Like the
yeah,
defense should be average, but I think the offense is awful, awful, really bad. So I went under.
yeah. Fair.
All
Fair. I
right.
don't feel good about it. Oh, I do feel good about it because I locked it. I kind of think this team's gonna be fun. I think there's
I
gonna be
think
something
they'll
there.
be interesting. And I do think like the culture is going to be a lot better. The vibes are already a lot better. There's going to be an effort level that we did not see last year when everyone was like, okay, I don't like I have to turn my TV off because these guys aren't playing
I stopped
basketball.
watching them.
That's not going to be there this year. And
Yeah.
that's going to be at least a nice change of pace. All right. To the Southwest Division, we have the Rockets set at 53 and a half. Last season they went 52 and 20. They bring in Kevin Durant, Dorian Finney-Smith, Clint Capella. Who else do they bring in? Had to be more than that.
JD Davison,
No,
Celtics
not really.
legend. Dorian Finney-Smith, you said, right?
Yep.
And Josh Okogie.
Okogie. There's who I was missing. They lose Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green, and unfortunately for the season they lose Fred VanVleet to injury. Max over under.
They lost Cam Whitmore and Jock Landale as well. But sorry, I'm gonna stop doing that bit. It's probably very annoying for everyone.
No,
I have an
it's actually just embarrassing that I don't have it. I don't know. I don't know what to do.
I have over 52 and a half. It's not a lock because that's a lot of wins.
It's
But this
53
team
and a
is
half.
insane.
Just
Sorry,
to let you
I
know.
meant to say 53 and a half. Yes.
Okay.
Don't you try to do what I'm doing to you.
No, no, no. If that could have changed your bet. You never know.
No, no, I
You
had
did.
it over 53 and a half. Last year they went 52 and 30, and they definitely got better this year. And the only real question I have with Houston, it's the Fred VanVleet injury is really, really bad for them. They do not have like who's their point guard. We don't really know. I'm interested in seeing how they remedy this because their lack of facilitation without him is going to potentially be an issue. They have it's a lot to ask of Amen Thompson and Reed Shepard to take that step towards that lead facilitator role. Do I think they can do it? I think they can, but that's a lot to ask. That being said, this team is insane, maybe the most flexible like team in terms of what they can do with their lineups. The lineup flexibility that this team has is absolutely insane. They can do so many different things. They can go really big, and then go kind of
They can go
small.
even bigger than really big.
Yeah,
They
they
can
can
go
go even
absolutely
really
gigantic. They can start four
exactly.
centers. That yeah.
They can yeah, exactly. And because of that and the addition of KD, because if you remember last year, one of the issues with the Rockets is that they could not score in the end of games to win basketball games, and they still went 52 and 30. Kevin Durant is one of the most clutch scorers in the game. So adding him in is going to really make a difference here. Excuse me, and I think it's an over for me.
Yeah, I started with this over and I had it as an over for like probably started this maybe 2 weeks ago, and I just changed this to an under
Wow, you're
a
Jordy
couple days
Rocket. I'm
ago.
surprised.
What?
You're Jordy Rockets. I'm surprised
Holy
you're
Rockets. I love this team. Like I love. And I was watching their preseason game and I was like
not that much.
fawning over Şengün and Jabari and Amen and all these guys. We were texting about it. It was one of those nights. Um 53 and a half is just a little bit too high for me. It's a big Reed Shepherd year. Big Reed Shepherd year. Lot on that guy's plate. He's got to make shots. He's got to make more shots and look more comfortable offensively than he did last year. I actually am pretty optimistic about him doing that. It's more about the defense. And Fred VanVleet doesn't get enough credit for this, but he is a very solid defender at the point guard position. He's can guard guys a lot bigger than him. He's strong. He's sturdy. He can stay in front of guys that are quicker than him. Reed has struggled on defense. That's why he didn't play last year, and it's going to be a struggle again. He's just going to have to survive. But I do think like even if he can't, even if he's playing like 25 minutes a game and he's like starting, but is he really starting? They can just do what you said and go to these crazy lineups with like a man at the point guard and just go huge, or maybe Aaron Holiday has to play a lot, right? Um, but yeah, I think losing Fred really hurts them, and I think their offense is still like it's going to be a lot better. I love Şengün. I'm in on like a Şengün mini leap, and I love KD obviously for what he does for the spacing. But like the non KD games, like KD's getting old. He's not going to play 82 games. Can tell you that right now, and I think it's going to be some really rough offensive nights. Um, yeah, it honestly I love this team, but the fact that they can win 53 games and have this bet go under is it just feels too high to me.
Totally fair. Totally fair.
I do want to say the rebounding is going to be outrageous.
It's
Like
gonna be insane. And the
it's
nights that they
going to
can't score,
be,
the other team's gonna score 82 points, and it doesn't really matter that they can't score. That's one thing.
dude, they could shoot 40% from the field and still score like 120 points because they're just going to get rebounds and
Yeah,
put them back in. It's
that's yeah.
what they did last year. They can do it again at an even crazier rate. All right. Next, we have the Mavs at 41 and a half. Last season, they were 39 and 43. Max, you just tell us, dude, who'd they bring in and who'd they lose?
D'Lo, Clay Thompson, Cooper. This was the easiest one.
Clay? Clay,
Sorry, I read the
blew it.
starting lineup. Excuse me, I got excited. I meant to say Cooper Flag, D'Lo, and Dennis Smith Jr.
Okay.
Remix with the DSJ coming back.
Mhm.
Um, the key departures: Spencer Dinwiddie. He got waived by Charlotte today, which
Good
is
one.
kind of insane. Um, anyways, I went a lock over. I think
Wow.
this team is extremely undervalued, and I understand that I am betting on Anthony Davis to be healthy, and I understand that that is a tremendously bad bet. But this team is filled with versatility, and they are going to be another team that is a bitch defensively. They are extremely, extremely deep. I do worry about scoring, especially with Kyrie being out and Clay potentially taking a step back due to his age. But they're going to be relying. I think Cooper Flag's going to be awesome. I'm just going to put that there. I think he's going to be so good right away. But what's nice about Cooper Flag is he is one of those guys that's going to be impactful doing anything. If he doesn't have the scoring ability that night, he's just going to be insane at passing and defense and rebounding, all that stuff. He's going to be good right away. Obviously, we don't know exactly when Kyrie is coming back, but I think they can tread water here and be good right away with D'Lo, Clay, Flag, AD, and Lively starting, and then obviously you can have that can change depending on who they're playing because that's a pretty big lineup anyways. But you still have PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford, Najee Marshall, Dante Exum, Max Christie, one of the Martins. I don't know if it's Caleb or Cody, and then
Caleb and Brandon Williams. I like Brandon Williams. He should be
and Nemhard and the baby Nemhard there, who's gonna be really good. I think who's actually gonna get minutes. So this team is very deep. I know the scoring is gonna be an issue, but defensively they're extremely versatile and extremely good. And I think like this is kind of the spot where I actually kind of like D'Lo because D'Lo is extremely frustrating when there are other mouths to feed, but when you are needing points, D'Lo is a guy that can definitely provide that for you. And I can't believe I just said that.
Yeah, a D'Lo compliment. That's good. That's good. I'm over.
Blech.
I'm not locking it. I am worried about it. Um, Again, yeah, it's the AD thing. It's the offense. Like, I love Flag. I'm with you. I think he's going to be able to be like a decent, like average to above average on ball creator, which is saying a lot for a rookie. And if he can just do that, he does everything else well enough that it's going to be a major impact. They do need a healthy AD to hit this line. Like the offense is going to crumble when AD's not on the court. I really believe that. Um, Coop, I just think there's still like the shooting could be rough. There's going to be nights where he just can't make a shot and can't get by guys. Like it's not going to be perfect, but I think this is probably the best front court in the league in terms of like the entire roster all the way throughout. You named them, but they are just huge. They're mean, they rebound, they defend, they're long, like they're athletic. They can go to a lot of lineups too, just like we said with the Rockets. So yeah, I'm going over. Defense in the regular season is a really good bet. I think they're going to play hard every night. That's another really good bet. So we're going over. I like it.
Yes.
And we are moving on to the San Antonio Spurs, who are set at 44 and a half. Last season went 34 and 48. They bring in Dylan Harper, Carter Bryant, Luke Cornett, Kelly Olynyk, and hopefully we see a bit more of De'Aaron Fox. I think he only played 6 games with them last year, and they lost Chris Paul and Mamu and anybody else.
Malachi Branham and Blake Wesley.
Okay.
Yes. So Lindy Waters, Kelly Olynyk, Luke Cornett, Carter Bryant, Dylan Harper, all those guys are going to be really, really good for this team. I have an overlock. This is a bet on Wemby. I took Wemby to win MVP this year. I took Wemby to have a quadruple double at one point this year. I took Wemby to, there was one other one, something with his rebounds. It was getting a ridiculous amount of rebounds and assists. Or it was maybe getting a triple double with blocks and rebounds, something like that, and another thing.
That's a good one.
Yes, I took a lot of money on this, or on Wemby in particular. This is going to be, I believe, his breakout season. They are one of the best rebuilds in the NBA that I can remember. And
Wemby helps that, to be fair.
Wemby does help that, but also draft picks help that. And Carter Bryant, I think, is going to be a really great piece for them. Steph Castle obviously won Rookie of the Year last year. He has been awesome for them so far. Dylan Harper looks like a real guy. He is something that you need to keep an eye, like we need to keep an eye on.
That guy
as
looks
fans.
like he's going to contribute.
He's
and have a big
special
right now.
Yes, yes, he is special, and that's almost okay because De'Aaron Fox then suddenly kind of becomes movable if he doesn't fit the way that you thought he might, and then you can even get better, which is scary. I think this is the year that the team takes a leap and actually really becomes something different. Wemby, the strength that he added, the way that he's been moving guys around in the preseason so far, like he's had a couple of plays where he just looks like Shaq and then dunks standing, and that's
He also grew somehow.
terrifying. Yeah, he grew somehow, and then is hitting like ridiculous step back jumpers that he's like dribbling for a few seconds and doing like dribbling phrases, and then also in the same breath is bumping into someone, throwing him back 6 feet, and then slamming, and it's
Dunking,
terrifying.
yeah, from a foot inside the foul line, like
Absolutely. And then the double big lineup with Luke Cornett is terrifying.
Oh, don't get me.
It hurts so bad. It hurts so bad that we don't have Luke Cornett anymore.
The fact that Wemby is running pick and rolls and Cornett is rolling, it's so pretty. And
ridiculous.
Cornett's like a good passer on the short roll when guys just spraying out to guys who can't shoot, but it's fine because they're wide open.
Yep.
I want to go back to Dylan Harper. He looks a little
Yeah.
Fox. He looks a little like his older teammate De'Aaron Fox. Just crazy. Like we're not like super heavy like draft nerds. We do a little bit of it, but
We're no Ben Pfeiffer.
Harper's burst and
Yes.
athleticism has like shocked me. I thought he was like really good with the ball in his hands, good handle, good passer, like can finish, can get to the rim, but he's like blowing by guys, he's jumping over guys to finish. And he looks super comfortable. Just I am really, really excited to see him. I think they're gonna like struggle to not have him on the floor. Like they're gonna struggle to keep him, playing like rookie level minutes. Also, the big concern for this team that I hear like on Twitter, on podcasts, on YouTube videos, everybody says they can't shoot. And I get that when you look at the 3 guards, everyone's talking about the 3 guard problem. I know this is like a weird, like nerdy thing to bring up, but Julian Champagnie is going to play a lot, and that guy shoots the lights out. And when you go to lineups like Champagnie, Vassell, Barnes, Wemby, all those guys can shoot. That's a really good
Mhm.
2 through 5 spacing group. So having just one point guard who's not an awesome knockdown shooter, but is a good player in Castle, Fox, or Dylan Harper is going to be totally fine to me. And also, the point guards aren't like total non-shooters. If you leave those guys open, they can knock down shots. It's just they're not going to go and hit like step backs and pull-ups all the time, sure. But there's enough spacing here that I think they get by. Um, and there's not like when you looked at like the Rockets last season, right? There are non-shooters littered across that teams. Şengün didn't shoot threes. Adams didn't shoot threes. Amen was left alone, right? Guys like that. Their only true non-shooters on this Spurs team are Sohan and Cornette. So
Mhm.
I'm not super concerned about the shooting. Um, the guards, like I said, they're not super efficient, but they have to be guarded. And yeah, that's my little nerd spiel. Other than that, yeah, Wemby's gonna absolutely dominate and win 50 games by himself.
Yeah, Carter Bryant can shoot too. He's got
That's what I'm
like
saying.
it's not like
Theoretically,
a
he can
lights
shoot.
out.
Who knows if he's
Yeah,
gonna
he's
actually translate, but
yeah, like his effective field goal percentage like wasn't like blow you away.
I think it
It
was
was
37% from three though in college on both
yes,
volumes.
37.1, and he shot a 61% true shooting percentage, which is
Yeah.
like good. So like he can shoot, and that's something because I think he needs to find minutes on this team. He's
Yeah,
incredible, and like on any other team I would love him, but I actually almost worry about him not getting minutes sometimes because of how deep this team is.
I
Like
agree.
I'm a little worried with Steph, Castle, and Dylan Harper and Carter. Like I want all three of those guys to play all the time.
Yeah. No, that's totally fair. I think Carter Bryant could be like a 15-minute a game guy who just comes in and wrecks the game on
Yeah.
defense and that's it. Which would be totally fine. So I am with you with the over. I'm not going to lock it though. Next team we have the Grizzlies at 40 and a half. Last season they were 48 and 34. They bring in Ty Jerome, Jock Landale, KCP. They draft Cedric Coward. They lose Desmond Bain in a big trade, Jay Huff and Luke Kennard. Injuries, Jaw is week to week. Jaren had some turf toe thing, but he played last night or the night before.
Yeah, he was
Zach
yeah,
Edey though could be out for months, which could be
6 to 9 weeks. Brandon Clark is out with knee surgery.
yeah.
Scottie Pippen Jr. also has or has a toe injury, which is kind of weird. Jaws an ankle sprain, but he's been playing
He hasn't been
ish.
playing, but I'm assuming he'll be okay. It's just an ankle.
Yeah. They also lost Cole Anthony too. Well, they had him for like a minute and then lost him.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like for me, I went under, and it's such a low number. It was kind of hard to go under. This is going to be a huge year for them because this is the year where it's like, all right, something really needs to happen, or we need to think about splitting this core up here. Um, I just don't think they're going to be that good. Jaren Jackson Jr. is really good. He took a pretty big step last year. I think he's awesome. He plays like he's missed 174 games in his career, but he rarely misses more than like or he rarely has played less than like 60 or 70 games. Ja has never played more than 67 games in his career. And if you're betting on that, like I don't know if that gets any better. He's already kind of dinged up. The team's already dinged up. And they replaced Bain with guys that we like. We like Ty Jerome. We like Cedric Coward. We love Cedric Coward. But KCP was a ghost last year in Orlando, and
Mhm.
maybe that was just situationally. But I can't imagine that just completely flips on its head. Maybe it does, but I would be kind of surprised if he came back and was like that good for them. And to me, like this starting lineup, I really have questions about. Right now, it's John Morant, KCP, Jalen Wells, Triple J, and Santi. I like Santi a little bit. I don't know if I
Yeah,
love
I
him
think
starting at the
Landell will
five
start.
there.
I think that depth chart is off, but
Yeah,
yeah, I
I
get it.
but
Either
even
way,
that I
yeah.
don't love Land. I would honestly maybe prefer Santi starting over Landell. I get I don't know. And then off the bench, like Ty Jerome is obviously a really great spark plug, good option. Cedric Coward, as we mentioned, Vince Williams, Jock Landell, Gigi Jackson, Scottie Pippen Jr., and then Edie, who's out for a while, and Brandon Clark, who's out for a while. It gets pretty gamey pretty quick if your next five guys are the guys that I just listed. They're just not nearly as deep in a very deep West. And I could be wrong, but I don't see it. And it would mean they go under 500, which is a lot to say.
Yeah, I'm with you. This is a tough one to go under on. I went under. It's such a low number. Like there's too much talent here to be like, oh, this is obviously an under. They're not going to win 41 games. I could easily see them winning 41 games, but
Hmm.
it's one of those things where it's like the West is so good that some of these teams just have to like eat it and they just have to take the brunt of this conference and go under. And I think it's going to be this team. There is like last year had the weird coaching carousel firing Taylor Jenkins right before the playoffs. They implemented a whole new system that whole season and the players didn't like it. It was more than just Ja, by the way. It seemed like a lot of the players were like uncomfortable with it. And even though statistically that system actually worked pretty well, the players were like, we don't like this and it just led to some turmoil and the whole coaching situation was a mess. So maybe that's better this season, but also it's Tuomas Isolo who we don't know anything about. Um, I'm with you. It's just not a deep enough team, not enough talent here to take the over. Um, even though it's such a low number. I think if you guaranteed me John Morant to play 60 plus games, I'd probably take it, but
Yeah. Yeah. I
can't
mean
guarantee
that
anything like
changes
that.
a lot, but you can't guarantee that, you know.
All right. The last team in the West, the New Orleans Pelicans, have a line set at 30 and a half. Last season, they were 21 and 61. They bring in Kevon Looney. They draft Jeremiah Fears and Derek Queen. They bring in Jordan Poole, and they also bring in a skinny Zion. So that should be good.
They did
Who'd
bring
they
in Skinny
lose?
Zion.
Anybody?
Let's see here. They lost Bruce Brown, CJ McCollum, and Kelly Olynyk.
Okay. Over or under.
Over. I like this team a lot. They're very weird, and Kevon Looney, who historically never gets hurt, immediately gets hurt as soon as he goes to New Orleans. So clearly there is something awful with that health and wellness staff over there. And I know it's a catch-22 for me to go and say, yeah, I don't believe in Ja to be healthy and play over this many games, but I do believe in Zion to do that. Like that is just not right. But that's what I'm going to say. I think skinny Zion, like I don't know. I
Looks
think
good,
there's
dude.
something to this. He looks good. He looks awesome. And they're going to rely heavily on point Zion. So he really needs to stay healthy here. But I'm here for it. I'm ready to be hurt by him again.
To be
Um,
fair, I think the Memphis line it's 10 games
it's way
higher.
higher. Yeah,
And
10
I
games
think
higher.
the
That's
talent
yes.
level is not that much different. So like if you like say Zion and Ja average out, like I think the rest of the team is actually kind of close
I think the rest of the team's better on
for the Pels.
New Orleans. Yeah. And I have this as a lock for me. Starters are Jordan Poole, um, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, Zion, Eve Misi, Jeremiah Fears, Hawkins, Sadiq Bey, Jose Alvarado, and then Derek Queen, who's dealing with a wrist thing, and Kevon Looney, who's dealing with a knee thing. Um, I think it's close, but I do think the Pelicans are slightly better. Like I guess I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's I don't know.
Well, it
It's
doesn't
actually kind of
matter as long as it's close. Like you take the team that's 10
yeah.
games lower with the line.
That's a good point. That is a very good point. But yeah, this team defensively is going to be really versatile. I mean, with Murphy and Jones and Misi, like that is those guys are going to be very lengthy, very switchable, and that's going to be interesting to see how that works. And then I'm Poole did this in Washington, but not to this extent. And he obviously was more shoot first. But seeing him in this role, I don't know if I love that role that for him, but I am interested in seeing what he does with it. Jeremiah Fears is a fucking dog. He's special. You can see that right away with him. And then Derek Queen, I think was a horrible trade, but a really fun pick.
Yeah, I'm not quite with you on the defense. Like, I think their defense is going to be pretty bad. Outside of Trey Murphy and Herb Jones, there's just not a lot
Well,
there.
Misi's good.
Misi's, I don't know. He had a rough season. He's super athletic and toolsy, but I don't know if he's
Yeah, he's not like an anchor
NBA
yet.
NBA ready yet. Um, they yeah, they also have really just bad guard defenders, just like we mentioned with
Yeah, the
the
yeah.
Lakers. Jordan Poole, Jeremiah Fears, Jordan Hawkins. That's not going to go
That's
too
not
well.
good. Yeah,
But
but if you
they
put
do
an
have Herb
Alvarado in
Jones, who
there,
is basically like uh adding, I don't know, Superman to a defense. So
yeah,
he's gonna hopefully have a healthy season and be good. I went over as well. This line is just ridiculously low for the
yes,
amount of talent that's on this roster. Skinny Zion maybe gives you some hope on defense. Like Zion hasn't been an awesome defender throughout his career, but we know that a guy that moves like him and jumps like him can be good on defense if he actually locks in. And if this is actually the year that we get Skinny Zion fully locked in, like what if he comes out and he's just all of a sudden really good on defense? That is a real possibility because of how freakishly athletic Zion is. But yeah, the 21 win season last year has to just stick in all of their mouths. Like there's no way that this team could possibly be 21 wins bad. So I'm going
Yeah,
for
I locked it, but also they have to win. They gave up that
yeah.
pick. Like they have to
That's a
not look
great
like
point.
dumb. And I think Willie Green's coaching for his job potentially. Like that's
Probably.
very in play. So they gotta win games. Like this could be like a disaster. Like this could be a big transitional period for the Pelicans. Like we're talking like potentially losing the team. Like it's not even. I'm not even like. I don't think that's kind of. I don't even think that's that much of like a overstatement because if you think about it, if they are abysmal and they have to trade Zion, there's already been talks about like the market in terms of like New Orleans as a market for NBA, like, and the
Yeah,
team
it's not
clearly,
great.
the league clearly wants to expand, and New Orleans is kind of fishy. Like they're having a lot of trouble filling those seats, getting people to show up and care about the team. Like it could get really weird very quickly.
I hope the Derek Queen murals bring enough people in.
True. It's good that he's already hurt. That is good. And he's already hurt on a team that is historic in how they mishandle injuries and ruin guys'
Yeah,
careers. So
that's
that's
a
really
very good
good.
point.
That's a good start for this.
All right, that wraps up the West. We are going to move to the East after just a short break. And we're back. We are here to do the Eastern Conference. The first team up is the New York Knicks. Their line is set at 53 and a half. Last season they went 51 and 31. Another very, very busy offseason. They bring in Jordan Clarkson, Gershon Yabusele. They brought in Malcolm Brogdon, who then decided to retire. And they bring in Mike Brown and hopefully have a healthier version of Mitchell Robinson. They lost Precious Achiuwa, DeLon Wright, Cam Payne, PJ Tucker, and anybody else that you want to add, Max?
No, I don't have anyone
I
else.
nailed it. First try. All right. Over or under 53 and a half for the New York Knickerbockers.
I got it at an over. It's a Mike Brown over. I don't know why you're smiling at me right now, but I think they're gonna like he's gonna bring this up tempo offense and a new look to what the Knicks are doing offensively, which has been their issue for the last few years under Tibbs. Is that offensively they just couldn't really get it going. It should be less Brunson centric or Brunson forward, I guess would be the better word for it. I know they're running a lot more like two guard sets and things like that, or two guard fronts, and it's interesting in seeing how they. I'm interested in seeing how they utilize Cat within this offense. I think this team's going to be really good this year, and will actually make a longer playoff run because their starters aren't going to be playing 48 minutes a game every game, which is going to be awesome. Um, and then healthy Mitch Rob should really solidify that defense. So
Yeah.
to me, I think this team is an over for me. I love the addition of Gershon Yabusele. He is going to be really awesome for this team. And then Jordan Clarkson off the bench, like he's not going to pass the ball ever, but if scoring is something that you're worried about for this Knicks team, that is something that is going to be fixed with Jordan Clarkson. So I like the over on this one. It's a lot of games, but I'm taking the over in this really bad East.
I have an over and I have a lock. I think this could easily be the one seed, and I'm super high on the Cavs too, but this is 3 wins lower than the Cavs, so I am absolutely locking this one up. This team just went to the Eastern Conference Finals and beat a team in the Celtics that we all thought was one of the favorites to win the title last year, and then the Knicks bring in a whole bunch of guys who we think make them better. I really like the depth. Obviously, Clarkson isn't perfect, but yeah, they didn't have really any depth last year. So bringing in a guy that is a scorer of Clarkson's level is going to be huge. Obviously, we like Gershon. Um, I just think this team is deep. They have, a new offense that's going to be interesting. I don't know if it's going to be like what everyone is thinking it's going to be like this beautiful
Yeah.
cutting, passing, perfect offense. Like I do think there's going to be some getting used to. It's asking a lot of Mitchell Robinson to all of a sudden be a guy handling the ball a lot and screening a lot and being just a really big part of the offense, which is what Mike Brown asks of his bigs and what we saw from them in the preseason. But there are going to be a lot of really fun rotations for Mike Brown to experiment with. There's a lot of versatility, a lot more versatility. Um, I think Josh Hart is actually a pretty good bet to win six man of the year. He's going to be a guy who probably starts a lot of games because, Mitch Robinson is going to be in and out of the lineup as he usually is. But I love this depth. They're at least 10 deep. If you want to include young guys like Huck Porty and Kolek, who could easily see the floor this year, they're even deeper than that. They go to 12. So This is an over lock for me.
I also had it locked. Forgot to mention that.
All right, that's lovely. Let's go to the next team, which I would be shocked if either of us have locked in either direction. The 76ers at 42 and a half. Last season was the season from hell if we've ever seen one. 24 and 58. My goodness, how did that happen?
Holy.
They
Uh,
bring in a bunch of guys: Trenton Watford, Jabari Walker, Dominic Barlow, VJ Edgecombe. They draft. I think they drafted Janai Broom, and they
yes.
lost Gershon Yabusele, Jared Butler, Ricky Council. 42 and a half max. You got any feel here? Anything? You got any confidence either way?
No, but I got to lean under 42 and a half. That is
All
my
right. I'm
most
leaning under
confident
as
pick.
well.
Yeah. They're running it back somehow at a crossroads though. They're young. They have this like really, really good young guard core with um two aging injury prone former superstars. I'm not going to call them superstars right now. Well, Joel Embiid's closer than Paul George, I would think. Um, but
Embiid was absolutely a superstar. We can't disrespect that man.
no.
Going
Former.
under.
I meant former super. I guess I don't know what I meant, but I meant like superstars in this sense, like they're superstars right at this moment.
Yeah.
And I don't know if either of those are at this very moment. Um, to me, I do believe we will see a better Embiid, but I don't know how much of a better Embiid in terms of how much you're going to get from him because he's 31 years old, and it almost from that long essay that you and I read like at the off season, it almost seems like it's a miracle that he's walking. Um, so that the idea that he can play at an MVP level for 60 games also seems like a miracle. And then Paul George is 35, so I'm not sure what you're getting from him. Um, the answer to me seems relatively clear that they have something of a really solid young core with McCain, Grimes, Tyrese Maxey, Adem Boma, VJ Edgecombe. Um, they're just really in this weird spot where they're built around these two guys that are injury prone and very old. Um, and the fill in parts are really young guys that need development. And I don't think there's any way to get a feel of this team. So anything but a lean is kind of ridiculous to me.
I agree that I like them better than last year. I'm happy they signed Grimes. I like Edgecombe a lot. I think Paul
Yeah,
George
Edgecombe's
has
awesome.
to just simply has to be better than he was last year. And he was maybe a little bit overhated and overmade fun of, but he was pretty rough for stretches last year. I think he'll bounce back a little bit. It's just like Embiid could play 20 games, and I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised. He could play 30 games. I would kind of be surprised if he played over 45 games, honestly. So that is why I'm going under. I honestly am much more excited to watch this team. Sucks about Jared McCain getting hurt randomly. Um,
Yeah.
but when he comes back, he'll be a fun watch too. So I I have nothing bad to say about this team. I like you mentioned the article about Embiid over the summer actually made me like the guy a lot more and just be happy that
Me
we
too.
even got to see his career at all. But yeah, I'm not gonna bet on his health, and I'm just gonna take the under. And if they go over, I'll be happy for him, honestly. Um, Next team is our beloved Celtics, who were gutted by the brutal second apron. The line is set at 41 and a half following a 61 and 21 season. They bring in Anthony Simons, Luca Garza, Josh Minot, Chris Boucher, as well as three rookies who may or may not play. They lose Al Horford, Drew Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis, Luke Cornett, and of course, an Achilles tear to a top five player in the world, Jason Tatum.
Why are you dragging this out?
41 and a half over or under.
It's an under lock for me.
Locked it.
I think
Wow.
it's my favorite play on the board. They're gonna
No
be so
way.
fucking bad. They're gonna be
No
so bad.
way.
They're going to be so bad. They can't rebound. They can't do anything. If Brown gets hurt, they I don't know how they're going to score the basketball. Derek White is incredible. He can have 60 points a game. It's not going to help. Well, this
They
team is terrible.
Hearing
Simons is
about the
going to be
team ruined
fun.
your hair. They
It,
they
my hair looks
destroyed you physically.
yeah. I am destroyed. Where do I even begin? Let's start
I
here.
I disagree with this. I think they're going to be
Okay.
better. I have the
You're
over.
gonna
I
think
flipped
oh,
this
you think
back
they're
and
gonna be better
forth.
than 61 games wins a
No,
game?
they're going to be better than
Sorry.
41 and a half. They're going to win 42 freaking games because they're the Boston Celtics and they're coached by Joe Mazzulla, who's an intense psychopath. And
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that. Sorry to cut you off. I'm glad you mentioned Joe Mazzulla because they play this brand of Missoula ball, right? Um, it's about pace and space, scheme, shoot a lot of threes. Yeah, that really hurts when you lose full five switchability with Drew and Al leaving, and the stretching and spacing ability of KP, Al, and Luke is gone. So how the hell are we gonna run
Garza can fill it
Missoula
up,
ball?
man. Garza can
Oh, can
fill
he?
it up.
Because oh, really? Can he? Because I watched him play. He's good. He's solid. I don't know if he's anywhere near KP level stretch. Kata sucks. Shireman sucks. Walsh
Come on.
sucks.
Don't do
Yes.
that. Don't do
No,
that to our
I
guys.
am
None
doing
of them suck. Literally,
it.
not
All
one of them sucks.
that. Jordan, what are we doing? What are you doing right now?
Shireman
Tell
does
me
not
when was
suck.
the last time you saw?
Kata is not a starting center, but he does not suck.
Well,
He
that
is
sucks because he's gonna be fucking starting for us a
Yeah,
lot.
I know. Okay,
So you tell me. Okay.
my words.
All right. Yeah, you tell me, right? Okay, first off, Hugo Gonzalez is incredible, and I stand by that he's going to be awesome. I love Hugo, or
Okay.
Hugo, excuse me. Simons
But
is
Kata
good.
sucks.
Kata does suck. Are you kidding me right now? Kata's abysmal. Shireman is disgusting at the game of basketball. Sorry. The NBA literally
good.
signed you. The NBA literally signed you to this contract because they thought we do positive analysis of the game.
It's our
and that
team,
is
so
true
we can
until
be
we get
as
to the
negative
Celtics.
as we want. Yeah.
Shireman was a wasted pick. He's
No,
25
he
years old. He
wasn't.
can't shoot. He stinks. He's fucking horrible. Jordan Walsh never could shoot. I don't know why the fuck they thought that's like asking him to grow hair. It's not going to happen. It's impossible for him. It's a bad pick. I
He
I
went his
don't
hair.
and Jordan, don't laugh at that. He has a disease. I think Minot is going to be great. I like Minot a lot. He's one that I'm very excited about. But other than that, this team's going to suck, and they're
Dude,
going to be below 500.
That Shireman take was abysmal. That is
He
one of
sucks, dude. What does he do good?
career. He was a rookie. He's fine. He's very talented.
He was a 25-year-old rookie.
This
Just kidding. I don't know how old he is, but he's very old.
this offense is going to be good.
No, it's not.
Yes,
It's not. They're going to shoot a
Absolutely
million
it
games,
is.
and they're going to play the variance game.
They're gonna.
They
shoot-
can't rebound. Who's going
they're
to
gonna
rebound
shoot
for them?
a billion threes.
Who's going to rebound for them?
Kata. Brown.
Okay, sure. Who's going to
Boucher.
rebound for him when he gets five fouls in the first quarter? Who's going to do that?
Boucher is a great.
Boucher, I'll give you. Boucher, I'll give you. He's a great ad. I love Boucher, but who's going to rebound for this team? Sharman's 25 years old.
Best lineup.
Sharman's 25 years old.
Best lineup. Pritchard. Love him. Derek White, one of the best.
He
role
shot
players in the league.
Sharman shot 36% from the
Can I give
field.
the best lineup?
Sorry.
Pritchard.
Go ahead.
Derek White, one of the best role players in the league. Jalen Brown, an elite two-way player. Sam Hauser, a capable starting NBA player.
That's where it starts.
And we're going small
Going
with
down
Chris
it.
Boucher at the 5. We're going small.
Oh
we're,
my god.
we're gonna get up and down. We're gonna run.
Oh
I'm
my
genuinely being
God.
serious. That lineup is their best lineup because
Tillman
Boucher-
off the bench. Garza, why not?
Tillman had a good
Nice.
preseason game last night. There's not a lot of two-way ability here. I'll give you that. The
Classic
defense-
Missoula ball. They can't switch. They can't shoot.
The defense is
They're
bad.
slow.
It's gonna be
No,
bad.
they are fast. Yeah, the defense. is bad.
But Pritchard, Simons, Jalen White, that right there, and then you add Hauser.
I mean,
like, that's a really
three
good
just
offense.
incredible facilitators, especially Jalen Brown, just known for being able to
Derek
set up his
White.
teammates
Derek
to
White
score.
is a very,
Derek White
very
can.
capable table setter. And by the way, did you forget that Tatum is gonna play because
Jesus, yeah, I
line-
know that. That's what scares me is he's going to play in March. I think
this
He's
line
gonna-
actually
that's
reacted to Tatum, I think, because it
Yeah.
was at 30.
It was lower.
It was at
Yeah,
40 and a half. It was at 40 and a half and
Yeah.
it's jumped to 41 and a half. Is that because they've had a very strong preseason? Could be. Is it also because Jason Tatum posted a video of himself dunking? Maybe.
Hey, I've watched every single fucking preseason game, and the Raptors were down by 30 and came back and beat them like 2 nights ago.
That's true. But they also beat someone by like 40. They beat the Cavs.
Yeah,
who didn't
And I
play
believe
any
that's
players.
yeah. I was gonna say I believe that was they. I started in that game for the Cavs, so let's nip that in the bud because that is just ridiculous.
Yeah, well, they took care of Jalen Tyson. I will tell you that right now. That guy did not have a shot.
Can we cut the part that I said about Walsh because that's probably not going to age well for my career.
Yeah, Walsh is gonna see this and he's gonna have a take over season.
I'm sorry, Walsh.
Break out.
I wish you could shoot though.
All right, this was a bad take by you. Minot
wasn't
is
a bad take. I
Minot's
love
gonna
this
be a
team more than
revelation.
life.
Minot's going to be like a seventh man on a championship team in 3 years.
Hugo
Like,
is the
oh
only
my god,
shining
save the team.
is the only good thing about this team to me. Just kidding. I love like like the only thing that I'm going to actually care about, because I'm not going to care about Brown right now because I love him, but this team is really bad. I'm going to care about Hugo right now. Max
He's
Shulga
not going to play.
stinks.
I hope you
Terrible
know
pick.
Ugo is not going to see the court because that's how good this
He
team is that he can't play
he's gonna start for us. He's gonna be starting in week
He's not.
3.
Who's he going to play over? Who's he? We go.
Sam Hauser. Sam
No, he's
Hauser's our
not playing
power
over Sam
forward.
Hauser.
Sam Hauser's listed as our power forward right now.
That's fine. He's gonna
It's
be power forward.
disgusting.
Boucher's
No,
gonna
it's
be the
not
small ball
fine.
five. I went through the best
Oh
lineup.
my
Were you
God,
not
we have a
listening?
6'9" 5.
Bou- Boucher was a great ad.
Boucher's 6'8", 200 pounds, and he's our 5.
No, he's not.
Clippers are gonna
That's
put up-
that's gonna be a closing lineup when we go small. But Kata's gonna start, and Kata is gonna be serviceable, dude. He's gonna be serviceable. They're gonna win.
He's
43
not. We
games.
watched him last year. He wasn't serviceable. He's not a serviceable
was.
starting big in the league.
He was,
He was a serviceable backup. I made an entire one of the only good TikToks I ever made. It got like 2 views. Was all about breaking down Kata losing us a game because I was so aggravated with
he
him.
was learning. Last year was his breakout. This year is he has.
Last year, how many? Let's see. He's been in the league. Let's see here. He's been in the league for. Well, his career he's played 110 games, so that's not a ton.
Exactly.
He's
was
been in the
learning
league
the
since
game.
2021. Okay, so he's been in the league for 4 years. It's his 5th year, but I don't know, dude. I don't believe in Kata. He's a career 0% 3-point shooter. Nice, dude. Good for that stretchability that we're worried
Yeah,
about.
read his good stats, maybe. Why are we talking about the thing that he doesn't do?
Oh, you mean the 1.7 points per game that he averages in the regular season? Or
Let me see his
3.8
offensive rebound rate, dude.
maybe the 3.8 rebounds a game he averages. What about that?
You're going counting
blow me
numbers on
away.
me. You're going counting stats
excuse-
in the
hey,
year 2025.
Excuse me. He averages 5 points a game. I was looking at his personal fouls per game.
Counting stats in the year 2025. It's a bigger role. You have to adjust.
Oh, sorry. Look at his true
for
shooting
possession
percentage and
basis.
tell me what that is, because I've seen him miss layups, so I know it's not good.
I bet it is good. All right, we're moving on. Josh Minot's going to be really good. Boucher was a great ad. Celtics win 43 games. Okay.
I'm sorry to all
Raptors.
Celtics players. I am a big fan of you guys. I'm frustrated with the team.
You're frustrated with the second apron. We did nothing wrong, dude. Brad
Yeah,
did nothing
that's what
wrong.
it is. We drafted correctly, and then you get hurt for drafting correct. It doesn't make sense. Like you draft, you build the way that they want you to build. They didn't even tank. Like they just like,
I know.
and then you get cut for that, and you have to trade
They
away all your
fleeced
assets.
the Nets. And then
Yeah.
the picks worked out and they had to pay everybody and now whatever. All right.
It's whatever.
Raptors
sorry, Jordan
set
Walsh. I
at
didn't mean to make that joke.
38 and a half. Last season they won 30 games. They lost 52 games. Don't know why I said it like that. They were 30 and 52. They bring in Mamu. They draft
Sure.
Colin Murray Boyles. They get hopefully a healthy Brandon Ingram, and they lose an amazing player, which is going to really hurt them, Chris Boucher.
True. Does Chris Boucher start over Brandon Ingram?
He
Um,
might.
I have under 39.5 for this team. A full year of Brandon Ingram will be interesting to see in Toronto, but what are they building? I don't understand this team at all.
Building it.
The projected that was funny. A projected lineup of Quickly, Barrett, Ingram, Barnes, and Jakob Poeltl isn't like horrible, but then it's just I don't know. This team feels kind of strange. I think it's going to take a while to figure out what they're doing, and then they really need someone to. I feel like I'm a kind of a dead horse here, but they really need someone that can like actually facilitate, because I know Brandon Ingram is good at creating his own shot, but the way that this lineup is presented, it's Quickly creating his own shot for 5 plays, then Barrett's like, I haven't touched the ball in a while, I'm going to shoot, and then Ingram and then Barnes doing the same thing. They would benefit from someone that could actually like run plays and initiate the offense,
Jamal
which is
Shed?
completely
No?
not.
Scotty Barnes leap? No?
Shed, I do think could do something like that, but he's also how tall is he again?
I think Shed is exactly what you're describing. He's just not a good enough.
Yes,
scorer, really.
but then can you start him over Emmanuel Quickly, who you're
No,
paying
no,
like
no.
$70 million a year to? Yeah, and then Barnes, like I like Scotty Barnes, I really do, but he's your best player, right? Not Ingram.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Scotty's better because of the defense.
Neither one are top 20 NBA.
No, Scotty's
20
definitely
player.
better now that I think about it. I was just thinking about
Yeah.
Scotty like not being able to dribble for a second, and I was like, maybe
Yeah,
Brandon.
like it does get stuck in your brain, but then he is really good. I don't know. It's a really weird team. I'm gonna go under.
I'm
under
going
under due to weirdness.
I'm going under 2. I do think Ingram will help the offense a lot. Um, this is a team that's just made up of a bunch of guys that I kind of like individually, but then you put them all together on this roster and the fit feels really clunky to me. This is a team that doesn't have enough shooting, just flat out.
Yeah.
Pirtle, Barnes, Barrett, Ingram, like none of those guys are awesome volume 3-point shooters. Maybe BI can like change that part of his game. He's got the talent and obviously he's the level of shot maker that it wouldn't shock me if all of a sudden the coaches are like, dude, you have to shoot threes. Like I could see him
Yeah.
being, capable of that, but still, you have 3 guys in the starting lineup that really aren't super reliable 3-point shooters. I know RJ's okay, but yeah, there's not enough offense here. I do think the defense is going to be fun to watch. I think they'll turn teams over a lot. They're super long and
Yeah.
switchable. I love Colin Murray Boyles as a mini Draymond, just covering ground like nobody's business, guarding all 5 positions, all that stuff. But the depth is bad. The offense is bad. I'm going under. All right,
Yeah.
let's move
Would you say he's a a second year player that you like, right? What's his name?
to. Oh, Kenny
Sorry.
Dick. Dick?
You would say you like what?
I do. I actually do like Dick. He's good. He's
Yeah, I
very
do.
good.
Yeah, sure. I like Grady Dick as well. Continue on to the next team, please.
All right, we're going to the Brooklyn Nets. Under?
Yeah, so remember I told you about that three-way parlay that I took
Yeah.
that I locked up. It was like plus 628. The Nets were the second leg of that. I love this under. This team is awful. This team is really, really bad. I think this is one of the worst drafts from a team I've
Ooh, that's a good
literally ever seen.
topic. Yeah.
It is borderline reprehensible how they drafted. They drafted 5 guys that need the ball in their hands, and this is going to be like a ridiculously good draft class, I think.
Mhm.
And none of those guys they like reached on every single player, and they were like one of the I think they're the only team to ever take 5 first round picks,
Yep.
and then they reached and took 5 kind of bad first round picks. So the key additions here: Michael Porter Jr., Igor Demon, Nolan Traore, Danny Wolf, Drake Powell, Ben Suroff, Kobe Buffkin, Haywood Highsmith. They lost Cam Johnson and Keon Johnson. No idea what they're doing here. Their own Joe Tsai came out and said that they're going to be losing, and verbatim was like, "Yeah, we're going to be bad this year and tanking." Finally, I can't believe they're getting a game over some of these other teams for some reason. Cam
It's 20
Thomas,
and a half,
MPJ.
by the way, the line. I didn't say it. 20 and a half.
Yeah, yeah. So they're and the other teams, the lower ones were 19 and a half. So this is the second lowest. MPJ is gonna fist fight Cam Thomas yeah, that's his name. Cam Thomas for shots on this team. I watched a little bit of a preseason game and neither of those guys passed a single time in the game. It's gonna be ridiculous. And then yeah, like Nolan Traore, Danny Wolf, Ben Suroff all need the ball in their hands. Drake Powell was a little bit of a reach because he didn't really produce too much, but we do like him. And then you're adding that to a bunch of different young guys on the team already. There's not even a semblance of building something here.
Yeah. Rookie, like high usage playmakers just aren't going to go
Yeah,
well.
they
And
don't
look,
they don't win
that's
games.
okay. Like they're going to be bad anyways. May as well be really bad. But I'm with you. I didn't even like the guys they drafted. Like Yegor at
Yeah,
8 was maybe the worst
yeah.
pick in the draft to me. I like he could prove me wrong. He was really highly
Senge
touted
might
going into
Senge might have
NYU,
some
but
thoughts on that.
Asenge, yeah. But yeah, I'm with you. Like they overachieved last year, in the beginning with Schroeder and Cam Johnson and Dorian Finney-Smith and Watford and all those guys are now gone and they won 26 games and that was an overachievement. So this year is really just about those rookies and seeing if any of them can stick, if any of them have anything that they can take going forward. CT and MPJ just shot chucking doesn't feel like a lot of wins surrounded by
No.
those rookies who are just going to be trying to survive for most of the
Yeah.
season because they're going to
Just
get,
trying to buy Yegor, who can't shoot
yeah.
but loves to have the ball in his hands. Danny Wolf, who only shoots but can't play defense, and
Cam Thomas, by the way, just playing like angry, just like shooting
yeah,
angrily.
which is
Like
worse.
he's just
It's
like
not good
so mad
because
at
he
the
was
front
mad.
office that he's like, watch this, I'm
Yes.
going to shoot even more. Yeah.
That'll show the league that didn't want me. I'm gonna do more of the thing that they were upset that I do.
Yeah, why
Yeah.
didn't you sign me? Watch this fucking 30 points on 35 shots. How about that?
Yeah. So,
All right.
all right.
Next team in we are going to the Central Division. The Cleveland Cavaliers are set at 56 and a half. Last season they were 64 and 18. 64 and 18. I repeat. They bring in Lonzo Ball and Larry Nance Jr., two players who I think can contribute right away. They lose Isaac Okoro and Ty Jerome. Some injuries here. Garland still dealing with that turf toe. I thought he was going to be okay for the start of
Yeah.
the season. And then Strus, a rough one, going to be a couple months with foot surgery. This is an overlock for me. What did you have?
Over. I didn't lock it just because I was. Yeah, I didn't lock it, but I should probably. I'm not going to, but I think I should.
The
The
reason
turf toe hurts a little bit,
Yeah,
but the
so the
East is
reason
so
I
bad.
locked this is because they won 64 games last year and they brought in guys that I think make them better. I think Larry Nance is going
Yeah,
to actually make them better, and nobody really talked about it. Everybody's talking about Lonzo Ball, and I think rightfully so. I
yeah, he's
think
awesome.
his defense and passing and spacing is going to be an upgrade even over Ty Jerome, who was absolutely awesome last year, but he's just not a great defender. Hopefully Lonzo can be better on that end.
Yeah,
You hope Lonzo can just stay on the floor really more than anything.
and
Um,
they also brought in Tyrese Proctor, who I really like. I
oh,
wanted
that's
the
a good call.
Celtics to
Yeah.
get him. He's gonna be like he. I think he probably maybe will play for them because they kind of could
With
use
Strus
some
and Garland
wings.
out,
Well, more so
there's
they
an
got rid of
opportunity.
like he could take that wing spot that's like occupied kind of by Dean Wade and like
Hunter.
Struess
Yeah.
and like I'm talking lower than that because they got rid of Levert and what's it called Isaac Okoro as well as Javante Green. So those guys are like in Ty Drum. Like those guys kind of like Proctor.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll even play. I probably spent too much time talking about him, but um they also brought in Thomas Bryant, and then they waived Killian Hayes, who they did bring in, but they waived him today, which is crazy too. Yeah, so the bench shot 29% from three in that Pacers series. So bringing in some
Bad.
shooters like Lonzo and Larry Nance can shoot the ball pretty well. So bringing in those guys are definitely going to help. And then I think at this point, you probably have questions about like the Allen Mobley Garland core, if they don't go anywhere in the playoffs. Regular season though, they always play really well, and I have them this year. I think they're going to win the East. And they are in. I know I totally forgot to talk about the tiers, but the tiers that I would be surprised, but only slightly surprised if they won, were the Cavs, the Knicks, the Rockets, the Wolves, the Mavericks, the Warriors, the Lakers, and one more team we haven't covered yet. Um, and for me, I just think like this team is really solid. The questions aren't about the regular season; it's about the playoffs.
Yeah. I'm with you. I would have them in that same tier, but people seem to conveniently forget that like first of all, they ran into an absolute buzzsaw of a Pacers team
Yeah,
last year that everybody was
yeah,
wrong
they went to the
about, and they were
finals.
way better than we thought, and they easily could have won the finals if their best player didn't tear his Achilles, 3 minutes into game seven. Like that was an elite team that everybody was like, oh my God, the Cavs lost again, like these bums. And also they got hurt. Darius Garland and
Yeah,
Evan
Darius
Mobley were
Garland.
not right for that series. I understand they got absolutely dog walked, so you can't give them too much of an excuse, but like this team won 64 games. They were the favorites all season. They were the one seed all season, and then they brought guys in that make them better. I don't know how this line drops so much. The only argument is the injuries to Strus and Garland, but I think the depth makes up for it. They have an elite coach in Kenny Atkinson. Mobley can take another jump. Donovan Mitchell's gonna up the usage back up. He took a back seat last year when Garland was healthy. With Garland out, with Strus out, like Donovan's gonna go absolutely crazy. Mobley, I'm really excited to watch. So this is an absolute lock for me. I would be really surprised if they missed this. I put money on this weeks ago. Like when the lines came out, I was like that instantly deposited money and put money on
Yeah,
this. All right. Next team is the Detroit Pistons at 46 and a half. Last season they were 44 and 38. They bring in Duncan Robinson, Karis LeVert, and they get back hopefully Jaden Ivey for at least some part of this season. He just got there was some news about him today that he's going to be out for a while, which was really unfortunate.
yeah,
They lose Dennis Schroeder, Simone Fontecchio, and nobody on earth knows what's going on with Malik Beasley. So 46 and a
yeah,
half.
yeah. I have a slight over. I was I was really excited to see this Jaden Ivey season, especially because it's a contract year for him. So like he really needed to produce, and we like Jaden Ivey's awesome. It was such a shame that he got hurt like really quickly. I think it was in that Charlotte game. Just tough. They lost some vets, but they were able to tinker around the edges enough. to cover these losses pretty well, in my opinion. Like I think Duncan Robinson can do what Malik Beasley was doing. I think maybe
Yeah.
not to the extent because Malik Beasley was the best 3-point shooter in the league last year, but Robinson's up there for sure. I'm still worried about their depth, specifically at the big. I would love an upgrade at that Isaiah Stewart spot. I think
Oh,
that would
dude,
be.
I love Stu. I disagree.
I love him too.
I think that
I re-
I think that's perfect.
really, I don't know if I see him as the starting big in a team that wins a
Well, he's not.
championship.
It's Duran. It's Tobias and Duran, and then Stewart's the backup.
I think he's yeah. So that's what I mean. Like the Tobias area plus like I mean because sometimes they can start Duran and Beef Stew if they want to go massive, and I don't know. I think Beef Stew is a great backup center, but I would love an upgrade there, like to pair with Duran, in my
So
opinion.
upgrading Tobias, yeah.
Yeah. Um, and then I think Robinson and Levert will help keep the offense producing well enough because Levert is like a shot chucker, but he's also like a pretty good shot maker as well. They were 14th in the NBA in offensive rating last year, so that's not really like I don't know if they'll dip too bad, but I do worry about that defensive issues that come with these signings. Robinson is not a good defender. Levert has his defensive issues. Um, really for this team, I like that they're running it back with his main core. I would like to see Asar get more minutes. I think he will get more minutes, and I think he's on leap alert this year because he is such a strong, like he's just a good player. Like I believe in him. And then I would be interested in seeing if Ivy becomes a trade candidate
Hmm.
to see like if they're winning, maybe just seeing what they can get for him to upgrade something.
All right, so that was an interesting monologue there because you took their over, but I feel like you said a bunch of bad things. I took their
Yeah.
under, but the more you talked, the more I disagreed with you, and I'm actually flipping to an over. I'm
Cool. So I
taking
did a lot of bad things. That was just
Yeah,
bad
no, it was
monologue.
just terrible all around. Thank you for that. You actually enlightened me to what I need to do now with this team. I think Duncan Robinson, he's not going to totally replace Hardaway Jr. and Malik Beasley by himself, but he is at least going to be in that role. And we saw that they run a lot of really great off-ball stuff for their shooters. Cade is awesome at finding shooters in
Yeah.
transition. That's a very seamless fit. They bring in Levert. Hopefully, like if we're projecting Ivy to be healthy at some point, Levert plus Ivy really upgrades the bench creation that Schroeder gave them last year, which was a really important role for them. Schroeder coming in and being
Yeah.
that creator when Cade was off the floor. I think Levert by himself can do that, but when Ivy gets back, Levert and Ivy are going to be really good off the bench to handle those non-Cade minutes. And I totally disagree with you about the defense. I think this is a really good defense. I think it's top 10 minimum, could be even better than that. The only liability on this team is Duncan Robinson. Everybody else is very capable and switchable, and Isaiah Stewart is one of the most underrated defensive big men in the league. Like he's an elite defender. Jalen Duren is a very good defender. Ron Holland's an absolute psychopath. Asar is, in my opinion, I just did the rankings on my TikTok. I ranked Asar as the ninth best defender in the entire NBA and as the best wing defender in the entire NBA. So I think this defense can be borderline elite. I think the offense is going to be fine, not amazing, but I am going to switch from my under to an over 46 and a half.
I I think that's I don't know. Well, I like the
You took
over.
over, so you can't
Yeah.
disagree.
No, I did take the over. I
Are you gonna
understand. I'm
flip
just
under? Are
saying
we gonna flip flop
no
each
no
other
no
because
no no.
we
I'm
disagree?
taking the over. I like that. I don't know why I'm like arguing against the team, but I do think I don't know if they're gonna be as I don't know if they're gonna pop as well as they did last year. They're gonna
Yeah.
develop
The
and
other
be
thing,
better.
oh, I didn't even mention, Cade is arrow pointing up.
Yeah, Cade's insane.
Cade
Yeah,
could be
yeah,
one of the
Cade's
best
insane.
guys in the league, and there's absolutely a chance that he goes to another level. So that's another thing, and it's a weak East. So
Yeah, I mean, last year their defensive rating was I don't try to pull this up right now. I I'm just wondering like it feels like they need a little bit more offense. That's kind of like I feel like they're one guy away from being something
I
really
totally
special.
agree. I could not agree more. But I think it's a better defense and an offense that's led by a guy in Cade who can just create offense out of thin air. And I like
Yeah.
the additions of Levert and Robinson, which help the
Yeah.
offense.
And they were 12th in net rating. And I don't know if they necessarily got worse on either side.
No, and by the way, I think they started they were like fine, and then they popped midway when they really started
Yeah.
clicking. And if you take like their net rating or their defensive rating from a certain point to the end of the season, it looks even better. I know obviously you can do that with a bunch of teams, but I just feel like they were a little bit of a late bloomer in all those stats. All right, let's go
Yeah.
to the next team, the Milwaukee Bucks, who are set at 43 and a half. They won 48 games last season. They bring in Miles Turner, Cole Anthony, Amir Coffey. They lose Brook Lopez, Damian Lillard, and Pat Connaughton. This is an over and a lock for me. Max, what do you got?
Damn it. It's an over and a lock for me. And they also
Stole your
lost
thunder.
Vasily Micic and they got Gary Harris as well. So magical light over there. Um, this is a new look core with Miles Turner and Giannis pairing up there. There's a questionable future around Giannis here, and I'm going all in. I bet him for MVP. I bet the Bucks to win the East. I also took a, or that was where I left it. I didn't take them to win the finals, but I guess I could
That's too
have.
much.
It's just a little too much for me. That's a lot of change to be made to a team for them to just like then up and run and win the finals. I think, in my opinion, but I don't know. Um, to me, Giannis, this is just a Giannis bet. He's one of the best players, if not the best player in the league, and what he's going to do with this team is going to be really interesting. I think I like the additions they made. Like I think they 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 brought in Dame with the idea that they're going to be able to play this like pick and roll 2-man game with him and Giannis, and it just never really
No, never
worked out
worked.
the way that yeah, it never worked out the way that they wanted it to. But now this like double big thing that they have going on with Turner, who can also stretch the floor. Like this floor, they're going to have a lot better shooting. And I just like what they're doing. They have guys that can score the basketball now. And I I feel confident about this Bucks team, which is kind of weird to
Yeah, I
say.
think this line is disrespectfully low
Yeah,
for a team with probably the second best player in the world on it. Last season, this is not an anti-Dame referendum, but last season, Giannis and Dame on the court together, they had a 118 offensive rating and a 5.4 net rating. With Dame off and Giannis on, this is 916 minutes. They had an offensive rating of 123.2. They shot 42% from three in those minutes, and they had a net rating of 9.3. So Giannis,
yeah,
like point Giannis as the lead creator with a bunch of shooting around him, worked last year, and it's
yeah,
gonna work again. This is a weird stretch, but from March 20th to April 13th, Dame was out with an injury. They went 11 and 3 in that stretch. Giannis averaged 31, 11, and almost 9 assists on 66% true shooting. 66% true shooting. The offensive rating was 127 during that stretch when he was on the floor. He gave us a glimpse last season of what it looks like when you put the ball in his hands and just have him be point Giannis and have all these really good high level 3-point shooters next to him. I think Miles Turner is an upgrade over Brook Lopez, at least defensively, probably offensively too. Yeah, this team's gonna win over 43 and a half games. Giannis
Portis
is too good.
Portis was out all year with like a PED thing.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
Having him off the bench, like that guy puts up like 16 a game.
Yeah,
He's gonna contribute. They got a little younger, which is always good, I think. Because it's not like they got significantly younger where they were just bringing in the youngest guys in the NBA, but they got to that nice middle ground with Cole Anthony and Gary Harris, guys that are a little bit on the younger side in terms of getting rid of Pat Connaughton and Chris Middleton, who were just up there in age and couldn't defend. Their defense last year was horrible. They're bringing in guys that can contribute. Like I like what Gary Trent can do. I mean, Kuzma was, he can't be that bad, right?
yeah. I was gonna
He's
say
got to be better.
there are guys like Kuzma, like KPJ, who they really relied on last year because they had
Yes.
to rely on. And they brought in enough guys now where it's like if KPJ's having a really bad KPJ game with
Yeah.
turnovers and not passing and bad shot selection, like maybe
Fighting.
you get a Cole Anthony night in those
Yes.
minutes. Maybe Ryan Rollins can fill that role for a night, right? So like AJ Green, Torian Prince can fill in for
Yeah.
Kuzma, and you still have, enough guys on the bench. I think it's a much improved, well, I shouldn't say it's a much improved roster because they lost Dame, but I think it's a roster that makes more
We
sense.
can we can say it's a much improved roster, I think.
I don't,
Dame is really good, and I don't want
yeah,
us to
Dame's
think
Dame,
that.
dude.
But they brought in Miles Turner, and they brought in, I don't know. It feels like in some ways it's improvement by
I don't
subtraction?
know if it's improvement. It feels close, and they won 48 games last year in a weird year with
Yeah,
injuries
fair.
to Dame and Portis and all that stuff. So, all right, we are both overlocked on Bucks. When we both lock things, you should
Good things
probably take
happen.
note of that. Yeah, you should
Yeah.
probably write that
It's
down.
going to be a loss for the boys, so take note of that. Bet against it.
All right. Next team is the Chicago Bulls. 32.5 is the line. They were 39 and 43 last year, which I kind of forgot that they ended up at 39.
Yeah.
They bring in Isaac Okoro. They draft Noah Senge. Uh, is that Mo Gay on their roster? I think it
It
is.
is Moge.
They
Yeah.
lose Taylor Horton Tucker. Did they lose anyone else? That's all I had written down.
Lonzo Ball.
Yeah, that's a good one, Lonzo.
And they brought in Rocco Zikarsky, Australian legend, NBL baby. I'm pretty sure he was there. Um, Not to steal your thunder here, but I'm going to lock this under.
You're locking the under.
Oh, and I rhymed. I didn't even know I did. Yeah, I'm locking the under. I don't like this team at all.
I have the over. This line is
What?
insane. This line is insane. They won 39 games last year.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that again. I
They
guess the
went
East did get
33.
worse. I don't like this team. Wait,
Modest,
what's the
dude.
wait? I have it at 33 and a half.
I have 32.5, but
Oh,
I
it
texted
doesn't really
you this.
matter.
I texted
I'm
you
gonna
this in the
I'm gonna
morning.
take the
You
under.
didn't?
Yeah, you did text me that. No, did you mention Bulls in that text? It doesn't matter.
Probably.
I don't like this team very much. I think there's a lot of confusion with them. I just don't like what they're like. I don't think
Confusion.
they have
There's
a
no
semblance of a
confusion,
team.
dude. The Bulls
What's
know who they
what,
are. They're fun,
what are they?
fast. They shoot a lot of threes.
Mid.
They miss a lot of shots. They turn the ball over. They go up and down. That's what they do. Okay.
Yeah.
They either
Remedy
score
for wins.
140 or
That's
they
what that
give up
sounds like.
140, and that's what happens every single night. And this is a 34 to 35 win team. This is a disgustingly low line for a team with a decent amount of talent. Like this is not the Washington Wizards. This is not a team that's totally bereft of talent. So I think Okoro actually
Bereft. That's a
yeah.
very nice word. That's
Yeah,
pretty sweet.
that's the one I go
Um,
to when I really want to win the argument.
sure. I
Okoro helps the defense, is what I was gonna say.
Sure, he helps the shooting. Oh wait, no, he doesn't. I, I, I'll be honest with you. I just need some unders, and I also don't like this team very much
All right, fair enough. It's a
because I went
modestly.
over on a lot of.
This
Huh?
could be factoring in Vucevic trade, which would significantly hurt. I'll be honest. That would definitely make
Well,
sense.
he can't move anymore, so I don't know how badly it would hurt.
It would crush their offense, and
Who are they
I think
getting
he's the
though?
right move because they
It would
should.
be the right move.
But all right. Anyways, next team is the Indiana Pacers with a line set at 37.5. They were 50 and 32 last year. They bring in Jay Huff and they draft Cam Jones. They lost Miles Turner and Thomas Bryant. And of course, the unfortunate injury to Tyrese Halliburton, who we haven't heard anything about, probably not going to play this season.
Yeah, probably
Already
not.
have TJ McConnell missing at least a month. Max, 37.5. What do you got?
Over. This is one of the reasons why I had to drop the Bulls down. I have the over on this team. I I
Okay.
don't know why, dude. I think they're gonna be. I think they're like. So Rick Carlisle does not coach losing teams really. I know he left Dallas, but that was just kind of it got stale there, and they weren't able to go as far in the playoffs as they wanted. But it's not like he was coaching losing teams. Um, this is a team full of just like Siakam is just in my mind with his playoff performance and what he was able to do, just took a big step. And I believe in this team filled with guys that really want to play and prove themselves to be something. I think they have a chip on their shoulder, and I think they're going to win more than 37 games or 37 games, more than 36 games. Um, Nemhard is going to play well. Um, I believe in Jay Huff. Like I think is a good addition to the team. I know losing Miles Turner obviously really is going to gut them because he was a big part of what they did. But I think Jay Huff can do have aspects of that. I'm not saying he's like a perfect 1-to-1 version of Miles Turner, obviously. And obviously this team is going to regress a little bit, but I don't know, dude. I like the over here. I'm not locking it, but I lean it.
So I had this over and I was super close having the over in the first place. And then McConnell got hurt and I think
Yeah,
it's
that
going to
hurts.
be a decent amount of time. And I ended up flipping to the under. The centers are rough. Like
The Senators are bad, yeah.
I like Jay Huff, sure. Isaiah Jackson, really athletic, hasn't proven anything. It's not going to be super pretty at that
Is
position.
Tony Bradley still floating around as a center for them?
Yeah, Tony Bradley is still there. Kind of a playoff legend. Had some moments.
James Wiseman, little Wiseman, what's it called? Bounce back.
Yeah, don't
He's
think so.
only 24, Jordan.
Yeah. I just don't see enough offense with this team, and I think the center, not having a center who can play reliable defense is
Yeah.
kind of a death sentence in the NBA regular season.
If you look at the depth chart, though, they're not. I mean, the centers do hurt. Like, I can't sit here and say like Isaiah Jackson and Jay Huff and James Wiseman and Tony Bradley is a great center lineup, but they are pretty versatile. I like Nemhard. I like Ben Math. I like Aaron Neesmith. I like Siakam, Furphy, Shepard, Obi Toppin. Those are guys, and Jarris Walker too. Those are guys that are going to be able to come in and score and win. And then this is just a really bad East. And I think when you're playing with Carlisle, he's going to coach those guys up hard. I don't know. I see a way for them to get those wins.
It's fair. I see it too. That was a tough one. All right, let's go to the final division, the Southeast. We start with the Orlando Magic with a line set at 50 and a half. They were 41 and 41 last season. They bring in Desmond Bane in a big trade. They bring in Tyus Jones. They draft Jace Richardson, and they lose a whole bunch of guys: KCP, Cole Anthony, Corey Joseph, Gary Harris, Caleb Houston. What do you got here?
I have the over. I'm not locking it. Last year they shot 31.8% from three. They were last in pace last year at 15.6%. Sorry, 15.6 seconds per possession. They
Interesting.
fixed this with Bane and Tyus Jones. They're great shooters. They're great decision makers. Tyus Jones in particular is pretty much ideal. Well, I guess they're both ideal for what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Bane addresses that shooting. Tyus Jones is like an elite table setter, exactly what we're looking for this team. And then Jace Richardson, who they brought in, I know he's 6'1", but he shot 41.2% from three in college so far, and he's been playing really well. He can run and gun as well. Last year was the year from hell, basically, with all those injuries that they went through, and they still went 41 and 41. I'm pretty confident that they can win 10 more games with a healthy Paolo, a healthy Franz, a healthy Suggs, along with bringing in Desmond Bane and Tyus Jones to kind of round out what this team is.
I'm with you. This is an over, and it feels like a big jump for a team that hasn't been elite for a team to go out now and win 51 games all of a sudden. But I do think Desmond Bane does that much for this offense. Like, this was a team that had a very, very clear issue, could not shoot the ball. Bane comes in and immediately changes that. He's one of the best shooters in the league. I'm so beyond excited to see Paolo and Franz play with a guy of Desmond Bane's caliber as a shooter. I still think this is a top three defense in the league. They were number two last season with those crazy injuries. Jalen Suggs missed a ton of last season.
Yeah.
Obviously, Paolo and Franz were both out for big stretches. So the defense is like ridiculous. It's absolutely
Yeah.
ridiculous, regardless of the fact that they brought in Tyus Jones, who's not a good defender, and Jace Richardson, who is a rookie and super small. But I just think the fit now around Paolo and Franz is a lot more complementary than really we've ever seen it. And the defense remains elite. Like, Wendell Carter, I think, is one of the most underrated players in the league. He is an excellent defender, can play any scheme you ask him to. Suggs is obviously the guy who can guard anybody on the perimeter and give you that point of attack stuff. And then Bane, Franz, and Paolo are all switchable guys who can guard multiple positions. Obviously, Franz and Paolo are gigantic and can help protect the rim a little bit. Bane is not an elite defender, but he's probably a plus defender. He's solid at least.
Yeah.
And then you still bring Isaac and Goga and De Silva off the bench, Anthony Black off the bench. It is a ridiculous defense. I think that is a recipe for a lot of wins in the regular season, and the offense is going to be so much better if they can just stay healthy for at least more than last season and integrate Bane, which I think is going to be really, really easy. I love this team. This is one of the teams that I'm most excited to watch just because I think they could be like really, really good and we could start, they could sneak their way into the Knicks Cavs tier in the East potentially if we see some leaps from their guys. So I'm going over. I'm not locking it because it's kind of a high number, but I love
Yeah.
that. Love that over. Love that team. Okay. Hawks.
Wait, real quick.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah.
Mo Wagner was hurt. Like,
Mo Wagner was
there
hurt. It was the year from hell. There was nothing.
dude, there was a point where they literally couldn't score more than the 80 points. It felt like
Yeah.
it was like a miracle for them to do that. So, I agree. Can't lock it because it's such a high number, but love it. Love it.
Could lock it, but we're just afraid. Okay.
Not gonna lock it, but love this team.
Hawks 47 and a half. Last season they went
Oof.
40 and 42. They had one of the better off seasons in the league. They bring in Nikhil Alexander Walker. they get Kristaps Porzingis, who was sick for 3 months max and just destroyed our Celtics, and now he's just all of a sudden fine, back to playing, and probably going to start for the Hawks. They bring in Luke Kennard. They draft Asa Newell. Um, I think this guy's name is Infali Dante, who had some moments in the preseason, I will say. They
Yes.
lose Clint Capella, Garrison Matthews, Larry Nance Jr., Kobe Buffkin, Karis LeVert, Terrence Mann, George Niang, and David Roddy. So we're looking at a largely new team around the same core. What do you got here?
Over 47 and a half. They are built with guys that we just straight up, you and me, love as players. If you're taking bets at home on different jerseys that Jordan and I are going to gift each other,
There's gonna be some Hawks on that.
down there, there's going to be some Hawks in there, for sure. Hawks and Magic. I think the Hawks are going to be really good this year. The stretching ability that they just added with KP is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, what he did for the Celtics when he was healthy completely transformed them as a team, and what he's going to provide to the Hawks now that he's healthy is going to do the same for them. People forget Jalen Johnson went out very quickly into the season last year. Getting him back for a full season is going to be awesome. The last year they were 18th in the NBA in 3-point percentage, 17th in offensive rating, and 18th in defensive rating. So they needed to get better on both sides since they're just kind of like middle of the
Just
pack.
below average, yeah.
Yeah, and I think both of those, I think all their additions are going to help that. The Okongwu KP lineups, like you can have a lineup of like Trey, Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson, Onyeka, KP. You could throw in Nikhil Alexander Walker instead of Dyson. You can do like
Yeah.
weird lineups with Ricochet and like Jalen, Ricochet, Dyson, Nah. Like you can go small, you can go big, you can do whatever you want. Um, and then yeah, like they address shooting with Kennard and Nikhil Alexander Walker and KP and yeah, the team is just extremely deep and very versatile and very good, and I love them a lot.
I have an over and a lock. Um, by the way, I think Mo Gay is on this team. I don't.
Yeah, Moget's on. Wait, what? Yeah,
Yeah, Mo Gay's on the Hawks. I don't know why
I'm
I
pretty
thought.
sure Moget is on the Hawks. Yeah, and I don't know why I
Okay,
said yes.
regardless, I have an over 47 and a half lock. Trey, surrounded by versatile defenders and freak athletes, just equals a good basketball team every single time. And I love the additions. Nikhil, KP, Kennard. The top eight is going to be nasty. The fact that
Yeah,
Okongwu had the season that he had last year and he's not even going to start because they bring in KP. Obviously, he'll start a bunch of games because Porzingis will miss a bunch, but that guy is at like easily a starter level player, double O. He was
Celtics
awesome
would
last year.
kill many people for
It
Onyeka
would
Okongwu.
literally kill somebody. Joe Mazzulla would
Yeah,
sacrifice Keita to God. Um,
that one got away from you, huh?
yeah, a little bit. After the top eight, though, they're a little bit thin. Like I think Krejci's gonna play. Mo Gay's probably gonna play. Asa Newell might have to play on some non-KP nights, but that top eight is so seamless in the way that they fit together. Trey Young is just an offense unto himself. So
Yeah,
this is a lock and an over for me at 47 and a half. I think they can win 50 games. They're like I'm surprised that the Magic are 4 wins ahead of them in the line, but that's why they're a lock. Okay, now to the Miami Heat at 37 and a half. They were right on this line last year at 37 and 45. They bring in Norm Powell, Fontecchio. They draft Yakuchonis. They lose Duncan Robinson, Haywood Highsmith, Kevin Love, and Kyle Anderson. And Tyler Hero out early, at least 8 weeks with some foot surgery, I believe.
yeah,
Out there.
surgery, I believe. Yeah. They also brought in Davion, as well, and I I have over here. I actually like this team. I like the starting lineup of Davion, Wiggins, Powell, Jovic, and Bam. I don't really like Jovic in that spot, but I think you can kind of like I think I would want to start Ware over there and go double big, right? Have Bam play
I
the
think
four.
theoretically having Ware in the starting lineup is the best, but he didn't prove it last season. And Spoelstra
Yeah.
was very vocal about him not proving it in all the little ways. But talent wise, yeah,
Yeah.
you would hope that he
And
could get
then
there eventually.
I like Kasparas Yakutsiunis. I'm sure I just butchered that, but he seems like a
Sparis
legit player.
Yakuchonis.
Kasparas Yakuchonis. He seems like a legit player. and I'm excited to see what he does. Fontecchio is a good addition as well. He can kind of just eat minutes, and to me, like this team has a semblance of something where I think that in a weak East like this, with how good their coaching is and what they actually have, I think they can win some games here. So I have a slight lean of the over.
Yeah, I have them under. I think we could look up in 2 months and this offense could be like dead last in the
Yeah.
entire league without Tyler Hero. I think that
Yeah.
injury completely killed this for me. Are they going to run Bam at the top of the key handoffs with Norm all game? Is that going to be the whole thing? Are they going to run Wiggins post ups? Terry Rozier hasn't given them anything since he's been there. Are they going to run it through him? Like,
Yeah.
I just don't
Hawkeyes could
see.
wake up. I don't know.
Yeah, like Hawkes had another or down year last year. Um, I don't see how they score points. I understand that Spoelstra's one of the best, if not the best, coaches in the league. This is a really serious and smart organization, but losing Hero, like they were so dependent on him, and their offense is going to be abysmal. Simple as that for me. I think that murdered it. I'm going under. Okay, now to the Charlotte Hornets, one of at least a top eight league pass team, at least.
Oh yeah.
Their line is set
I
at
have my
26
list.
and a half. They were 19 and 63 last season. They bring in Colin Sexton, Con Knipple, Liam McNeely, Sion James, Cockbrenner, Pat Connaughton. They did bring in Dinwiddie, but he's now been waived, I think. And they lose
Yes.
Mark Williams, Micic, Seth Curry, Taj Gibson, Nick Smith Jr., Wendell Moore, and Josh Okogie. 26 and a half. It's kind of a strange line. There's not many lines in this range. What do you have?
Wait, they lost Seth Curry and Mark Williams too.
I said him.
Oh, he did. And then you mentioned Plumlee and Sexton.
I didn't mention Plumlee. I did mention Sexton.
Gotcha.
Plumlee
Okay.
wasn't there last
Sorry.
year?
No.
Okay.
I think there's like four or five Plumlees floating around that
Yeah.
kind of just inhabit teams. I have them over. My hometown Pistons, or oh, I don't even know what I just said. My hometown Hornets.
Yeah.
I was reading the Pistons name
You're gonna
ahead.
be going to a lot
Um,
of games, at least a couple.
I am. I'm going. I believe we're going to the Thunder Pistons game here in a few
Pistons,
days.
dude. You want to
Why
be
do
a
I keep doing
Pistons
that?
fan
I
so
keep
bad.
looking at the Pistons thing. I believe we're going to the Thunder Hornets game in like a month, and then you and I are trying to go to that Nuggets, or we're going to be going to that Nuggets Hornets game. So that's going to be awesome. And then we are hoping to go to that Spurs Hornets game. Either way, the Hornets they have an exciting young core. This is a lot of wins. I will be honest. I don't feel great about it, but they did get some adults in the room with Pat Connaughton and Plumlee and Sexton, guys that are gonna, make these guys play better. To me, it's the question of LaMelo. They were 28th in defensive rating last year, and that can't happen. They have to be better defensively. I don't know if they are going to be able to be better defensively,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
especially
I think they're
leaving
gonna
Mark
be right
Williams.
there again.
Yeah, losing Mark Williams, who was probably, I guess, their best defensive player,
Yeah.
um, isn't going to help. But I don't really feel that great about this over now that I'm talking
I,
speaking
I
about it out
I
loud.
took the over and I feel good about it. The defense is going to be
Okay.
terrible. They can be 30th. They can
Yeah.
be 29th. They can be 28th. I don't care. The defense is terrible. They're going to be starting a rookie center in Cockbrenner who could be fine, could be like
Yeah.
just below average to average, but like I do worry about him playing a really deep drop in the modern NBA if he's guarding, stretch fives, if he's guarding guys who can really fill it up on pull up threes. Like guys who can only play deep drop, I'm not super high on nowadays.
Yeah.
Musa is the backup who is a little bit more versatile, but just really raw on offense.
Yeah.
How many minutes can
Salon
Charles Lee
Salon might have
really
been a
give him?
miss.
Salon is absolutely a miss. However, with all that said, this is going to be a good offense. I feel
Yeah.
good saying that if all their guys play, LaMelo, Miller, Knipple, these are this is a really good fitting offense. And Sexton, I love Sexton had a play in the preseason a couple nights ago where it was like everything just broke down. There's 5 seconds on the clock, and he absolutely mixes somebody on
Yeah.
the wing and gets to an elbow jumper. And just having a guy who can be a secondary creator in Colin Sexton, having Brandon Miller, who can be healthy, hopefully, and just
Yeah.
shoot a bunch of threes at 6'9" and get to the rim occasionally, hopefully. Miles Bridges, I think, is still a really solid player. He made like friggin' six threes in a row in their preseason game. I think this offense is going to be explosive. I still think LaMelo is an incredible offensive talent. The defense is going to be terrible, but can they get to 21, 27 wins, excuse me, in a week East? I think they can. They need a little bit of health.
Yeah. I agree. I agree with that.
All right. Last team, the Washington Wizards at 20 and a half. They were 18 and 64 last season. They bring in CJ McCollum, Cam Whitmore. They draft Trey Johnson and Will Riley. They lose Marcus Smart and Rashawn Holmes. Last one. What do you got?
And they lost Sadiq Bey, Malcolm Brogdon, Jordan Poole as well.
There.
And
Well,
they
Poole is gone.
no, he was on the offseason trade, I thought.
No, was he?
I
Maybe.
believe so. And then they brought in Dylan Jones from the Thunder. Um, I have the under as a lock. That was the third leg of my plus 620 unders parlay. Um, I really like actually what they are building. Like it's a bunch of very young guys, and then they have a couple of older guys with McCollum and Chris Middleton in there to kind of just guide the youth a little bit. When youth plays like that, they're going to play badly and they're not going to win a lot of games, and that's fine. This is for development. Um, I like that they're also just picking up young guys that are available and seeing if they can be anything like Cam Whitmore, Marvin Bagley, Dylan Jones, AJ Johnson, just guys that are on their second or third teams from the teams that drafted them and just seeing like, hey, we can take a flyer on these guys if they're anything, whatever. Um, they're going to be really bad. I think
Yeah.
this like Trey Johnson I think is like going to be really good, but I don't see a single way that they don't go like I this they're just gonna be bad. They're gonna lose this many games.
Yeah, I have the under as well. You said you like what they're building. I like the process. I think, like what you said, picking up guys, taking flyers, being bad is the obviously right decision. You shouldn't be signing vets with this team, but they got unlucky, dude. Like
Yeah,
having the second pick in the Riza Shea, Alex Sarr draft,
yeah,
that's the year that you
that's
get the
tough.
top pick, and then this past draft you end up at what was it, six with Trey Johnson, who we
Six or
both really
five,
like,
something.
but it's
Yeah,
like you really want that top two, top
yeah.
three
You want a
pick in a
Cooper?
loaded
Yeah,
draft like that. Like they just haven't gotten lucky,
this
to
year though.
lucky enough to have the talent on this roster. So I have the under. They're going to be really bad. I don't honestly know how much of them I'm going to watch after the first month or so of the season.
Yeah,
I,
definitely.
I I don't have much more to say about them. I think we
I
did.
really don't either. Yeah, I think it's time for gifts.
Hang on, real quick.
Yeah.
My locks.
Oh yeah.
My locks are OKC over 62 and a half, Denver over 54 and a half, Kings under 35 and a half, Knicks over 53 and a half, Cavs over 56 and a half, Bucks over 43 and a half, and Hawks over 47 and a half.
Okay, my locks are the Knicks over to 52 and a half, Celtics over 50, sorry, under 41 and a half. Freudian slip there, Jordan. A Jordan slip. I'll be here all week. Bulls under 33 and a half, Wizards under 20 and a half, Mavericks over 41 and a half, Spurs over 43 and a half, Sacramento Kings under 35 and a half, Pelicans over 30 and a half, Suns over 31 and a half, Utah Jazz under 31 and a half. My six man of the year pick is Anthony Simons of the Boston Celtics. I
Wow.
think
The team
yeah,
you're going
that,
under on?
yes. Most improved player, I have one of the Thompson twins, Aaron Gordon or Bruce Brown as my pick. Um, and then MVP, I have Giannis and Wemby Flyers, and then Coach of the Year, I took David Adelman. And then
Okay.
sorry, one final thing, I bet the Nuggets to win the finals this year because the Thunder are pretty juiced right now.
Nuggets are definitely going to win the finals. Six man of the year is going to be Josh Hart.
Mm,
Coach of the year, I didn't look into. I kind of like Jamal Mosley. He is the favorite though, so I'm not going to say that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Quinn
I didn't.
Snyder. Quinn Snyder's not a bad pick.
Yeah. Uh,
Top six league pass teams. You ready?
yeah, let's do it.
You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
No, go ahead.
Number one, the San Antonio Spurs. Do you want me
Great.
to go one at a time
Yeah,
or?
yeah, go.
Okay. Number two, the Nuggets of Denver.
The Nuggets
Dude.
of Denver.
I want some feedback after every pick to see if you
I
agree.
literally did my top five on TikTok, and
Oh,
that was my
wow.
one.
I didn't watch. Three, the Rockets.
Rockets. Yeah, I agree.
Four are the Hawks.
Yeah. So agree.
Five, five are the Magic,
Yep. They're not on my
and then
list though.
six for me are the Pelicans. And I know that's a bad pick, but I
Yeah, it is
am
a
gonna
bad
watch
pick
them.
because you didn't say the Mavs, who have Cooper Flag and are super weird
Fuck,
and
you're right. You're
gigantic.
right.
I have
I
Spurs,
I put the Mavs over
Nuggets,
the Magic.
Mavs, Hawks, Rockets.
Fuck, I put the Mavs over the Magic. I think so. It'd be Spurs, Nuggets, Rockets, Hawks, Mavs, Magic, and then honestly, I think the Clippers might be in there too.
Okay.
There's a lot of good basketball. There's a lot of good basketball.
Yeah.
I'll say it.
All right, Max.
The time we've been waiting for.
I guess you want to go first, huh?
No, you go first. I want you to go
No, I
first.
want you to go first.
No, don't do this. I really want you to go first. First off, who do you think it is? Give me your final pick of who you think it is.
Dude, so we've been guessing back and forth for
It's
I don't know how
been
long.
probably about a month, I think. Feel free to draw this out.
I think it's France. I think it's France.
Okay. Okay. Please, he's opening it and oh, a bag in the bag. Get closer to the mic so they can hear you. It
Oh,
is
oh,
Steph Castle.
oh, okay.
Let's
Yes,
go. How do you feel about it?
I feel excellent. He's gonna be hanging right up there, up
Let's
there.
go. I like those pants, Jordy. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad.
Dude, that's
You never
excellent.
you never guessed them.
No,
And
not even
I
close. Not even close. Because you said that it was like a guy who's gonna be an all-star soon, and he just didn't come to mind because I don't think he's gonna
yeah.
be. But
Okay, cool.
that is
I meant by soon I meant down the line, not like
I
this year.
am
Okay.
excited. All right, you have no idea. You're not. Yeah. Okay. Good.
I thought Herb Jones or Trey Murphy, but now I have no idea. Let's go. Con Knipple, baby. Let's fucking go,
How
Jordan.
about that for a surprise?
God, I love you. Thank you so much. I get to wear this to the Hornets game. Oh man, this is incredible. I
Yeah,
appreciate you.
that's
This
why I
is
did it.
great.
You're gonna
This is
actually
awesome.
get some use out of that. So I was like, that's a
Yeah.
safe pick. I
Thank you.
did have Jalen Suggs open. I had Carter Bryant open. I had Denny Avdia open, and I went with
Oh,
Knipple because he's a Hornet, and you're gonna go
that's
watch him
yeah.
play.
That's great picks. Love the colors. I had for you. Musa Diabate was by far
Oh,
the second. Like he was literally, I he was $10 more than any other jersey. I couldn't
you
figure it
cheaped
out.
out on me?
I did cheap out on you. I was like, I'm not. Come on now. For Musa, I like him, but come on now.
I actually
Um,
kind of did the same thing because I tried to buy Carter Bryant, but they didn't
yeah,
have Fanatics didn't have Carter Bryant, so
yeah,
it would have had to
weird.
be the 150. And I
Yes,
wasn't dropping it.
and then it was I took. Let's see here. I thought you would guess the Pelicans guys too easy, so I took them for a spin, but I didn't really feel good about it. Let's see. A lot of Portland got played through. Like Kamara was like a very long. I sat on the Kamara for a long time.
Dude, you missed my favorite role player, I will say. Like you weren't even
Amen does
no.
not count. Okay, who is it?
Dude, God, you don't watch my videos and it hurts so bad. I made a whole YouTube video on him in the dead of summer when there was nothing going on, dude. Jabari. I would literally die
Oh yeah,
for
yeah,
Jabari.
yeah.
But
True.
so
I know. Well, there's a lot of years of this coming, so maybe I actually think we should do a Christmas one because I really want another one now too. Like I'm addicted because like I need something to hang up next to my
I'm just
con.
really, really happy to hang this up. I'm really happy. And now I'm
Yeah, I love it.
happy to
I'm gonna
watch
wear this.
Castle. You're happy to watch Knipple win Rookie of the Year.
Oh, this is. I think this is. Oh man,
Was this our
this
best
is really
segment ever?
awesome. This was our best segment ever. Longest pod ever I think we've ever done. So we're gonna split this up into two parts. I'm glad that you had no idea because that, and
No.
I'm excited to do this throughout the years because I think it's gonna be a really fun segment. I think we should do a Christmas one. I'll be
I'm gonna
honest.
get you a insane collection going. I mean,
Yes, me too.
talking Kings Dario Saric. I'm
Nope,
talking
not that. No.
Lakers, Russ. It's gonna
Nope.
be
Oh my God.
yeah.
That is horrible. I'm giving
Suns,
you
Nurk.
Lakers, Jackson
Suns,
Hayes.
Nurkic.
Oh
Come
my
on,
Suns Aiton.
that's not bad. Come on,
That is bad.
in the finals.
Yeah, I think I mean the odds of my next one being a Hawk, a Magic, a Spur, a Piston is very high.
Yeah, yeah. All right,
Yeah.
let's wrap it.
All right, let's wrap it. Thank you guys so much for listening. I can't wait for what we got this year. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna be super locked in, better than ever. If you are on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get this podcast, please leave a 5-star review. Tell your friends about us. We really could use it. Shout out to our new logo. I'm excited about that.
New name,
If you're
new
on
logo.
YouTube, new name, new logo. Yeah, we're now the long two. I feel like we didn't really cover that well, but whatever. If you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. It helps us out so much. Yeah, tell your friends. Try and get people to listen for us. It would be great. But yeah, as always, thank you all for listening,